All right, and we live. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy, Rep Milwaukee 414, man. Straight from Sneakerheads Clothing Line. Sneakerheads Clothing Line Radio Live, man. Today is August 11th, 2020. We are a little bit after the usual time that we start, but it is what it is. We had a couple technical difficulties, no COVID, but we had some technical difficulties going on. you know got the homie BX with me as usual, and as you guys can see, we got the man, the myth, the legend, my I call him my godfather, Jumpman Bostic in the building. Appreciate JB coming through tonight. JD from Jordan Brand is supposed to come through. We'll see if he's still able to come through tonight. Hey, if he doesn't, we were still able to, bring in one of, in my opinion, you already know, the Godfather himself, the James Brown of the sneaker culture. Jumpman Bostic, man. JB, let them know where they can find you out real quick, and we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, you can hit me on Instagram at Jumpman Bostic, YouTube the same, Twitter. Those are the three I really use. I'm on some other social medias, but I really don't use them that much, like Snapchat and all that. It's all Jumpman Bostic.
Yeah. And then BX, man, you got anything? No, you ain't got nothing? Okay. All right, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. Now, if y'all missed, hold on, let me, ladies first. Let me go ahead and bring her in. Let me go and bring her in.
This where you done ran up to BX. I wonder where you was at the end of Fashion Police.
I had to take an Uber over here. My bad.
It's all right. It's all good. If you're coming over to a good place, I'm not going to hold it against you. And Rep counts as a good place. But before I go any further, what's up, Bostic?
What's up, sis?
I can't act like you're not sitting right next to me.
Yeah, right next to me. So slide the other way. Next to me. Yeah.
Well, how you know with all this pandemic stuff going on?
Hey, just staying out the way.
I know that's right, but like us sneakerheads, we can't stay away from sneakers.
And modeling, I see.
Yeah.
A little side, Rep got me on my little modeling stuff, a little
something. Little something.
Yeah, little.
Us sneakerheads can never stay too far away from sneakers, no matter the climate. And Rico just left my house because he dropped off.
Or that elephant print, huh?
Oh, an elephant print. Rico just dropped off some nice babies for me. My broski.
Oh, look at it. Oh.
So I finally got my pair.
Nice.
I ain't know you was getting them. We gotta, what we got for you. We'll get that out to you.
He literally just left my house before I got it. Like Rico just dropped them off for me.
Okay.
And I got a nice little pickup too in my this group I'm in on Facebook.
Yeah.
ATATF, and I've been looking for these fours for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got them.
Purple gang.
Purple joints. Yeah. Okay. In your size too.
180. So about like 30 something over retail.
Yeah, that's about right.
The price did go down on them, and I hopped on it real fast. I said, "You gonna take this money? Cause it's going down." It's up to you, Playboy. It's going down on StockX.
Hey, in your size too, you can't beat it.
So Rico, I deleted his number on my phone.
No, you ain't getting it back.
I deleted Rico's number.
No deals for you.
Feats, tell everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff so we can get started.
Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. You guys can find me at Feats and Treats on YouTube, just like it has right here. It's the same way on YouTube. No spaces on IG. And I just want to again say just shout outs to Rep for having me on tonight. Shout outs to Sneakerhead Clothing Line for making me their latest brand ambassador. And you can either use mine or Bostic's code because we the 15% off gang.
Hey, but for sure.
You can either use 9% off order Sneakerheads Clothing Line. And as you guys may or may not have seen, they did drop some recent stuff for women's, which you can check on my page as well as the website. So do check that out. And again, my code as well as plastics saves you 15% off your total order.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
that.
Rhett,
Here's some of that popcorn. It's my favorite snack.
did you give it that script?
No, I don't. No, that's authentic right there.
Off the cuff, baby.
That's authentic right there. I don't tell nobody to do nothing.
That's straight off the top.
That's off the top, but that is factual though. Feats and Jumpman Bostic both have a 15% off discount code. They are actually the only two representatives of the brand that have 15% off. So make sure you check out both of them.
Take advantage of that.
Take advantage of that for sure. You know. So let's go ahead and get into it. What so Feats already showed what she picked up. Anything else? What y'all pick up new?
That's
African Caesar held me down.
Oh snap!
Oh, those went on sale at Foot Locker too. I've been eyeing those.
Chinese New Year. These boys are dope. To see them in person, the materials on this is fly. Yeah, it's fly.
Now I have a question about this. So you just recently got those?
Yes.
See, now for someone like who just kind of watches your page, or for me, I kind of thought you got like things as like when they drop, you got it. It's just all on when you post it.
No.
But just know, Bostic got it.
No. I'm late gang a lot of times because I have kids that are preteens. And they into other things now. So a lot of money goes towards them and family first, you know. But yeah, I just came across those super late.
And my son, he's going on 6, but I'm already kind of getting into that financial thing where he has picked up the sneaker bug.
Oh yeah.
He don't only want to be on camera. He wants to now go sneaker shopping. He wants to go to the malls now. He's like, Mommy, when are we going back to Foot Locker? I'm like, pump your brakes, baby. But he's like, I'm ready to get going. And I love that. So when he says like he wants to go to the mall, I really try to go to the mall because I like that. Like when he says he wants to do something, and you know, me being a boy mom, you know, when he says he wants to do something, I really take to that because I feel like he's gonna get to a point where he ain't gonna tell me he want to do stuff with me anymore. So all that stuff he tells me now, I'm just like, let's go, baby, let's go.
Yeah,
but
take it all in because when they get older,
he's gotten to that point where sometimes I've had to put what I want on hold because I got bills, and I'm like, I'll sacrifice myself for the bills, and so he can get what he want versus me getting what I want and the bills still being paid. So you know, I'm now having to deal with, all right, we're gonna have to miss out on this. You might have to pay a little bit more retail next week. Luckily, I have, you know, my bro Rico to help me out. But other than that, if it ain't from him, I ain't messing with it.
Yeah, I have to pay resale sometimes. I don't have it. I used to have a nice connect with Mr. Allen's, but they sold out to Snipes.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have no representation at Snipes, so I'm back to trying to find a super connect.
Did they change the name, JB?
Oh yeah, it's Snipes.
Dang.
Yeah, they took the signage down and everything.
Oh,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So would it have to be someone locally or just someone within the brand?
No, Snipes is international. Snipes is from overseas, and from what I understand, they're trying to buy out all the mom and pop shops. They're trying to get rid of all the mom and pop shops and just have, you know, really the Foot Locker, Champs, Finish Line, all of them, and then Snipes is buying out all the smaller accounts.
Yeah.
And then they have like DJ Khaled and Meek Mill and, you know, entertainers repping them now, not anybody from the actual streets representing them. So
I noticed that too. A lot of stuff is going towards the celebrities and you know, they take it from the people that have built a name just off of the love of sneakers.
Yeah, it ain't like that.
Have the same amount of followers as celebrities, but their following is based strictly off of just their love of sneakers versus the following just being because you're seen on TV.
I don't think any of the companies has a person that's strictly being promoted for the love of sneakers. They're all of them have entertainers. Foot Locker champs, all of them.
I even feel like even these celebrities, like even though they claim to like sneakers, and I do think some celebrities do have a passion for it, but I do feel like once you kind of step into celebrity status, it all becomes money. And if you might have a love for it, but if you're not getting a paycheck off of it, you're not gonna do it.
Oh, right. Exactly.
So it's like, whereas us, we might take an opportunity because it showcases our love, or that opportunity that I take to do on for free would put me in positions to get paid opportunities. You know, celebrities don't look at it like that anymore because they're already paid.
Already
So
paid.
unless you're paying me, my genuine love for this makes no difference.
But you know what's funny is I used to travel around the country like 2011 to 2013 for free for the love of sneakers. And then when people started paying me, you know, I was like, oh, you want to pay me to come? Okay. Then it turned into I didn't have love for sneakers anymore. I was just in it for the money. But the same people from 2011 to 2014, like, man, you should be paid. You should get paid to go and display your stuff. You know, they should, right? They inviting you out, they should pay you. But once that happened, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, JB, not to just to interject real quick and not be disrespectful, but that's the thing though. That's the thing about business though. You should want to do something that you enjoy and love doing and get paid for it.
Yeah.
That's what you literally should want to do it with your life. You should want to do something that you enjoy doing and get paid for it.
Yeah.
I do think sometimes people think that because you have a love for something, it automatically comes. And I always like to use myself in this instance because it was me. It happened to me. And I thought the same thing until it came to SneakerCon. And then I told myself, hey, in order for them to offer me something, I need to show that I'm dedicated to this event, to this brand, things of that nature, before they just say, hey, we want to bring you on and we're going to fly you out and do all this good stuff, right?
Right.
All those SneakerCons I did 2019, I paid to go to. Dallas, Bay Area, all those panels I ended up on. It's because I paid to be in the building because I put myself in front of those people. Shout out to JUMPMAN Chris. He's the reason why I was on my first panel ever. Somebody dropped out. He literally said, hey, Beach is ready to go. I was standing right there shocked as like today, like right now, I'm going to be on the panel. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, right now, are you ready or not? I'm going to tell him that you're ready to go. I'm like, I'm ready to go. And then from that point on, when I had my first all-female panel, that was pretty dope in Atlanta. Ty Young was on that panel. That was pretty dope. And then we had the Dallas panel that I was on. So, you know, hard work does come. Everything does come, you know. But in some situations, you do have to invest in yourself. You have to bet on yourself. And I bet on myself. And it granted me more opportunities. And those opportunities didn't get to fulfill because of COVID. So,
right.
But had COVID not happened, I had a lot of good things in the works. You know, I was, you know, doing a lot of work. But again, bet on yourself. Sometimes you have to spend that money to put yourself in a winning position. Don't think that it just comes off of other people spreading your name. And yeah, you can get it like that without spending a dime, people spreading your name. But it hurts you nonetheless if you know this is something that you want, to take that extra step to put yourself there. Because yeah, JUMPMAN Chris could have said my name. Everyone could have said my name. But if I'm not there to speak and represent myself, everyone saying my name falls flat.
Yeah, true.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Most definitely. I know for me for SneakerCon, you know, I started 2017, and it's really about the people, you know, like is networking, and it's really about the people, because just like with Feats, like obviously, like if Jumperman Chris didn't say something, she would have never got, you know, she never would have got put on. It's just, I feel like that's for anybody that's ever been on a panel that's got put on. It's like basically it's been like, yo, so and so's here. What about so and so or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because I guess for example for myself, uh, I was put on for Dallas, but I forget who told me. Actually, SneakerCon hit me up, but I had been going since 17, but I've never been on a panel since last year.
Mm.
I never been on a panel since last year, but I had been going since 17 religiously. And I mean, being with all the everybody else's that was doing panels, going on panels, doing everything, and basketball games. JB, you remember how they was doing a basketball game? Like, I mean, I'm sitting front row basketball games. I'm with everybody. We all together and stuff like that or whatever. So it's like I know everybody, but I never did a panel literally until 2019 in Dallas, where, you know, I was asked, I got hit up, you know, whatever. But it's the time that you put in, it's the people, it's the networking, it's the relationships that you build. But I go into that mind frame just like anything business related. Like, if you think you're just gonna go to SneakerCon and just say, oh yeah, you know, I met so and so or whatever, that, you know, that's cool and all that, but it's really about the networking, the business, the relationships that you build, and just being genuine, honest, true to yourself. You know, when you're there, be yourself. You know, me and JB didn't meet until last year, but me and JB known each other for years.
Yeah.
Literally for years, but we never met face to face until we was at the Container Store headquarters. You know, but it's been plenty locations that we were supposed to meet at, and it didn't work out, where JB ended last minute, had to end up working or something, or, you know, last minute JB would be in Kansas City, you know, for an event, or Phoenix. I remember he had to go to Phoenix one event, and I think that was last minute, where they asked him to do an event in Phoenix, but we were supposed to meet somewhere else or whatever. So it's just, you know, things happen or whatever, but it's really about the relationships that you build.
I was gonna say something, but I don't know if you want to read Chino's question first.
Wow.
How long did it take Jumperman Bostic to gather all them kicks?
34 years.
I got a question.
But see, people. Let me clear this up with people. They think I'm new to this, right?
You true to this,
or they think that this, I just had a whole bunch of money, just went out and bought all these shoes. This is from 1985 to the present. But blood, sweat, and tears. They even lost 100 pair to a liar. But I ain't gonna go back into that.
Don't do that.
But I'm even better than I was then. You know, at least I got to give some pairs that I thought that I could get back. Some I got back, some I didn't. But it's been from the beginning. So
yeah, and to follow up on that a little bit. So as you guys see, Mayor sold, or, you know, gave a lot of his collection to Urban Necessities /
I was gonna say, he really ain't sell his collection. Like he
consigned his collection. Let's be clear. He consigned
he condensed.
Yeah, he condensed. Yeah,
he moved it on over. He's gonna make some money off them things.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, it's just the process, or the thought of you having, if you had to empty and clear your basement right now, what would it take for you to have to clear it?
It go to a museum where I could be a part of the museum, and I would let everything go there. I would be a part of it. I'd be working there. That's my ultimate dream, to talk about the stuff, give tours, visits, or whatever. People want to come to my house, but my wife is not having that. I'm not having that, because you don't know people's motives. I let some people come to my house, and then they want to talk shit about you a few months later, and it took 2 years for me to let this clown come to my house.
Yeah.
And I kept telling the guy, Guru, I said, Guru, man, I don't have a good feeling. He said, man, he cool, man. He cool. He my guy. And I let this guy come, and shit just went south. So I'm really hesitant about who comes to visit. But I do want to have a museum where it's open, because a lot of the stuff I have, people have never seen. And I get DMs all the time where, what's the name of this team shoe? Not really the numbered shoes, more of the team shoes that people want to know the names of. And a lot of those people don't have. And I collect everything.
Yeah, you do.
The fusions to the boots to the cleats.
I caught a lot of flack one day because, you know, they were talking about like how you collected like those kind of offense stuff. And I'm like, granted, he does collect that stuff. He has all of the core retros and every core Jordan you can think of, he still has. Yeah. He just happens to have those boots and cleats and other stuff as well too. But don't get it twisted. He has all of the core stuff as well. Those are just like add-ons or additions to enhance the collection in a sense.
Now, those are stuff that I like to wear too. I'll rock a team shoe or a fusion just like I rock a numbered shoe. That's me. I'm not in this for the hype of having all the off-white. I don't have any off-whites. You know.
My next question: how does that bring you to, from you being so in the game so long, to see kind of just being retros, kind of being the focal point, you know, 1 to 14, those kind of being the end all be all, to now where you've got like collabs, off-whites, you've got this, you've got that. So like, how do you think it, quality-wise, do you think it was better back in the days versus now? And do you really think the hype is really like justified? Do you think that these really need to be hyped over?
The collabs are hyped because of the celebrities that are creating them. If there was no celebrity pool behind them, like I don't know the name of this recent dunk that started going for crazy amounts once they saw Travis Scott wearing them. Now they like brown or something.
And they were sitting in East Bay.
Yeah, and now the price has gone crazy. If a celebrity would have put on a fusion back in the day, the fusions would have sold like that too.
I like Dub Zeros.
Yeah, I got the original. I got the original Dub Zero.
I had the originals too.
What was Kylie? Kylie was wearing something. Kylie Jenner was wearing something.
There were some dunks.
Yeah, it was some dunks also as well, and they skyrocketed.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah,
that's all it takes. Is for a celebrity to like something. You know, I've always been different in as far as the shoes and like different styles and different workups by Jordan Brand as far as certain shoes, as far as trainers to work out in back in the day when I was, you know, working out, doing exercise and running or whatever. And then some of the other basketball shoes like the Big Funds and stuff like that are team shoes that you would see Ray Allen wearing or Quentin Richardson wearing back in the day, but they really didn't get the love that the numbered shoes got. But I liked them, so I bought them.
And I think another fusion that did really good, but then they just kind of fell off or kind of disappeared for me was Spizikes. I used to love.
Oh yeah,
Spizikes was popping hard in 2002. When the red elephant print Spizike came out, that was 2000. That was 2000 and damn it, man! I think it was 2007. I think it was 2007 when that one came out.
And right around
really fast for me because I was a sneakerhead before I knew a community existed.
Yeah.
So I was junior high school. I was always known as the girl who had all the kicks. We would come off the holiday breaks. Everyone knew I had all the kicks that released during the breaks. You know, she come in the first week back to back with all the new kicks. And like, I didn't know, hey, maybe I should because it was good to have this big of a collection down the line and just look back like at all these sneakers I've had and loved all this time. But I used to send them all to like my cousins in Trinidad. And I never knew sneakers was what it was at the time. I never knew there was a community on Facebook, even back to MySpace days. I didn't know there was this going on and brewing. I didn't even know there was a YouTube for sneakerheads. So when I literally made my page, Feats and Treats, is when I got introduced to the sneaker world. But in my head, I was just the only living sneakerhead that I known. No one in my family was into sneakers like me. None of my friends were into it like me. So I couldn't run into anyone that would put me on to something like that either.
You could go further than that and go back to Nike talk too.
Yeah. I didn't know about none of that stuff. So to now kind of have to play catch up in a game that I feel like I've always known but didn't know existed. It's a lot, because I'm like, everyone has made connections. Everyone has done this, done that. And here I am kind of having all this, but in a sense, starting from the beginning. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first met you, Jumpman Bostic, I was even surprised you even wrote back to my post. You got a pretty big following, you know. I'm like, he's never gonna answer me. But then I'm like, you know, let me just try. This was a big debate. My page hadn't been out too long, and that's when we had that big debate about the Chicago Nines versus it being Space Jam. And I'm like, where did you guys get the Space Jam name from when the sneakers
saw him in the movie?
For the movie.
Saw him in the movie.
Saw him in the movie.
So I was like, you know what? Who none other than one of the GOATs, like you guys say, to solve this debacle. And once I reposted what you said, everyone went like quiet and was like, well, the GOAT has spoken. So we just
They were never called the Space Jam Nines. They was always the Chicago Nines.
I said, where did that name came from? The only Space Jam sneaker was the 11s.
Yeah.
I mean, they always change the names now, though. It's like even when they re-released the Columbia 11s, you know, they started. Then that's when they changed the Legend Blue, and you know, it's always an updated name that they always, you know, come with or whatever.
Well, they couldn't use Columbia anymore. For copyright.
Okay.
So they had to make it Legend Blue. So that was a little bit different because they lost the copyrights to that colorway.
Oh, okay.
Or that's why it's a little darker than
oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I do. We got a couple questions here, JB. So shout out to Black Ass African. He said, "What was the last sneaker you wore that gave out on you, or you had to retire, basically?"
Oh, sorry. You have any sneakers that's token?
Yeah, I got a bunch of them that's barking now.
I got some that need relationships.
It's OG 85 Chicago.
No, them boys are still running like tanks. The first of the year, every year I wear them. The last shoe that I wore that gave out on me was the Lightning 17s. They finally gave out. They started talking at the bottom. So those are. I saw somebody post them wearing them a couple weeks ago. I put mine on, and that was it.
Dang.
Yeah. And before that, it was the blue 17s. They gave out on me too.
I need a pair of 17s so bad.
Yeah. Mr. O said, I feel like JB can't even know all the kicks he has. It's that many pairs.
I do.
You'd be surprised.
I know what for some reason, I don't know how it is, but I know what I have, and I've never bought a duplicate because I know what I have.
Yeah.
It's just like in the back of my head. I've worn it. I already know that I have it, and I don't buy a duplicate of it.
What number are you sitting on right now currently?
1,284.
Okay.
Would you say about what percentage of Jordans do you have from first release to now? What percent of Jordans do you have that has actually released?
That have actually released?
Yeah. Like of all the Jordans released, how much do you think you own?
You know what? People think that I have everything that's released, and I don't. It's not even close. That 1,200 plus that I have doesn't even compare to what's released.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Mayor. Mayor has what? Like he had like 6, 7, 8,000 pair of shoes, and then Perfect Pair probably has 5,000. You know, I know theirs is a mixture of Jordans and some other brands, but
I mean, but they different though, JB, because they're not. I mean, like JB, like I mean, like I always say, like you like the Godfather, because it's like
you're
you buy
guru.
Yeah, you literally buy everything. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple things.
I'm not asking anyone before you.
Yeah, it's like you've been gifted a few things, but the majority of your collection you have bought.
I bought, yeah.
And I
don't think Mayor and them can say that.
No matter how you obtain your collection really matters, whether gifted or purchased, bought. If I build a relationship with someone who provides me with sneakers, I'm not going to turn that down because the general masses doesn't have the opportunity. So if he's got that opportunity, he takes it, utilizes it, he gets every single thing from cleats to whatever. Kudos to him, because he built that for himself. And to me, that just gives me access to some shit I might not see. You know, that he might show. Maybe I might not get it, but I could still see it. I could still learn a thing or two.
And the cleats, some of them I played softball in before I had my total knee replacement. I'm not able to really play softball like that now because of the movements, in the batter's box, running, sliding, all that stuff. I can't really run, period. Right. You know, I can, I get out with my kids and I like hop around, whatever. But as far as fluently running, I can't. But I bought those back in the day, to play softball in, once my basketball days were really over with.
JB, hey, but hold on 1 second. I'll let you go, BX. I got one question though, since we brought up basketball though, because this was brought up when I was doing BX. Was it AWOL interview? It was AWOL interview. Now, JB,
what AWOL say?
He had me on for his interview this past weekend. We was talking about basketball a little bit. Because a few people didn't know I played D1, or they example, BX didn't know that Grambling State was a Division I school.
I never said that. I said I didn't know you played D1 basketball.
It was a Division.
Don't throw me under the bus like that.
Listen, if anyone of the twins of the triplet towers play ball, I believe they play ball, and that is Rep, Bostic, and Slick Rip. Y'all are my triplet towers.
There it is.
That's it. But we was talking about basketball a little bit because he was getting on my background a little bit, trying to figure, find out about my background a little bit. So obviously, I told him, I don't play ball anymore, but I can still play ball. I said, but if you want to play some horse, you want to play some pig or something, I'll shoot the lights out.
Yeah.
Now I ain't gonna run, but I can shoot.
Yeah. Now, JB. Do you feel the same way? You can't play ball anymore, but if you was to get out there, I'm pretty sure you could still shoot the lights out.
And I play half court, but running up and down the court,
no, I ain't doing
I can't really do a half court. But half court is where I developed my game.
Okay.
And my high school coach used to make us play half court because that makes you focus more with your teammates.
Yeah.
Because you go full court, you can go like Russell Westbrook and go coast to coast.
Yeah.
So half court made you focus more on the team game, more on defense, more on helping,
more on what we about to do,
more on setting picks and getting your running a 3-man game, like the Celtics used to do back in the day.
Right.
So I could see myself doing like a 3-on-3 tournament or something like that. Me, you, and get us a guard to give us the ball.
Hey, it could be me, you, and Rick, and I give y'all the ball. It's over with.
Hey.
I play no game with y'all three on the same team. That's a cheat code. Hell no.
I think I could give somebody that work at 57 and a half court game.
You can just inbound. Anybody can inbounds the ball to me, and it's lights out.
Now one thing, I guess, not to change the topic a little bit, but one thing I kind of worry about with sometimes me and I guess my son, future kids, where like our, I don't know, my son is only 6, but I guess people with like older kids, do they ever feel like embarrassed or like, oh God, you're doing that YouTube stuff again? Like, you know, because right now my son is like, he tells everyone in his class, my mom do YouTube. So I just want to see how long that lasts until he be like, all right, girl, stop.
No, my son's 17, but my son is a theater major though. So maybe that's different. But my son is 17. He don't, to be honest with you, he probably won't care. Like my son do not care.
Mine either.
My son do not care.
They just kind of like do your own thing, whatever.
Like,
yeah, they like, you don't make videos like you used to, you know, because the people in their school saying that's not your dad, and they'll go back and show them pictures when they were little, when they were in the videos, and they'd be at the end. Now we can get some ice cream. That was a funny,
that's my daddy.
that was the funniest thing. But you know, they were in videos when they were little.
yeah.
So, but they like, you don't make them like you used to, and they remember all that. I used to do it every day, you know, and I kind of slowed down from that. There's so much going on with YouTube now, and it's just a lot of craziness.
I struggle with that sometimes.
And I don't even entertain it. I don't watch it, listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming to Instagram now too, you know, where it's just too much. And it's, I don't know if it's about views, if it's about status, if it's about, you know, just putting somebody else down to make yourself feel better. Or
I think
what.
YouTube is a lot more where like the drama outside of the premise of the sneakers happens.
Yeah, how is that though?
On YouTube, you kind of can get on live and you can kind of get in, I don't know, feelings, and you can create shit just because you're live on a camera. I mean, I really don't know. I feel like I'm not built for YouTube because the way my personality is, you know, I come from Southside Jamaica, Queens in New York, and we don't act like this like on the streets. When we got an issue, we solve it. We don't do the whole 20 videos back to back, each other out. It ain't none of that. It's just on some, I'm gonna be at the park at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna see you there at 5 o'clock, okay? I'm gonna see you there Thursday because we ain't about to do this. And on YouTube, it's a lot of back and forth, flagging, copyrights, and I don't got time for that. I like to drink my drink. Sometimes I like to smoke my smoke. And I sit back and I chill and I'm on my business. But sometimes I do gotta gather some of these fellas because I feel like y'all be acting like it's love and hip hop. Y'all be acting like some females. And then that's when I get I'm just the loudmouth little one. But I've always gotten that. So it's neither here nor there for me. I have no problem being me.
Remember, I've been said that though. You know, it's love and hip hop YouTube, and I don't know, like I really channel myself out of it, and I just do me. Like I just literally do me. Like folks can be like, "Man, you so." I'd be like, "Nope, I didn't," because I don't.
Another thing too that I always stress on my channel, we all have channels. Me, Rap, BX, Bostic, we all have channels. And I'm pretty sure we all don't get to watch each other's contents. Why? Because we are the creators. We do not create for each other. And I think that's what people sometimes fail to miss. I'm not creating for Rap, BX, and Bostic. I'm creating for my subscribers. I'm creating for the people that don't do YouTube, that come to YouTube to watch. That's what I'm creating for. I've understood that creators are not my audience. Yes, creators can support. Yes, creators can show love. Yes, creators can do all of that. But creators have to create. And when my situation, I got no husband. It's me, single mom. I got to take care of the house. I got to take care of my son. I got to take care of everything before I sit down in front of this camera. So for me, it's a little different. I got to take care of a lot of things before I sit down in front of this camera.
See, and with me, I work full time. So there's a lot of people that stay at home. That's all they do, or they wanna be famous, or they want to be 100,000 subscribers on YouTube or whatever. But one thing I never have understood is if there's somebody who doesn't like you, follow you, got some vendetta, beef, hatred, jealousy, whatever you want to use, why do they find a way to watch what you do? You know, to troll you. Why?
They go watch.
Because they really your fans. That's why.
I'm not responding to anybody that gotta sit and watch my stuff in silence to talk about me. If that's what you're doing to talk about me, then keep on watching, honey, because I'm not responding. I made one response video one time to one person, and I took the first blow because I was sick of his shit, and never again. If you want to talk about me, go on and talk about me. Just make sure you talk good, and just make sure you include that I do my motherfucking thing and that I'm better than you. Carry on.
Hey, well, y'all see who we got. We got finally came in the building, man. We got JD from Jordan Brand.
JD, what's up,
JD?
Sir?
Oh man, busy day.
Every day.
Hey, we appreciate you coming through, JD, man. We, I know you had a few things going on last minute, but
Okay.
JD, if you can tell everybody, you know what I'm saying, what your name is, and where they can find you at and all that good stuff, and we can go ahead and get into it.
Sure. So my name is JD. I do customer relations work with the Jordan Brand, and I'm the guy that any car problems you have, any complaints, any issues, I'm the guy that everybody go to as far as unfairness when it comes to getting sneakers.
I'm size 4 of the little thing. Just let me know where I gotta send that email to, because I got it prepped and ready about the lack of availability for grade school.
Feats, let them finish. Let them finish, Feats. Hey, let them finish.
But do tell, young lady, do tell.
Well, I appreciate you. And like I said, I'm pretty much the guy on the streets, pretty much everywhere around the 5 boroughs, Brooklyn especially. Just when it comes to releases, I want to make sure everything, as far as the customer experience goes in stores, is up to par. Any questions and concerns that maybe workers have in different stores, whether it be Foot Locker, Champs, Finish Line, whatever have you, Nike, it doesn't matter. Any complaints or any issues or concerns that Jordan enthusiasts have, I'm going to be all on it, because it's very important. It's very imperative that today that we look, the brand looks at consumers as, above and beyond everything else, so, that I take that very serious, especially now, with all the different changes, with the pandemic and everything. So I think it's very important to show customers that we appreciate everything they do. And I'm just going to try to do my best to keep that going.
Dope. Well,
I like that.
He's running the Retro Talk Forum podcast handle right now.
I ain't even see what they talking about. Hey, well,
but JD, I have one question.
What's going on, Jumpman?
What's good? And maybe you can help with it or shed some light on it. This airship.
Okay.
Just releasing in one store in Italy, correct?
Yeah. So that shoe will be releasing probably later on. I didn't get no word yet. I got to talk to my right hand man Gentry to see what's going on as far as where that shoe is actually going to be on in the US. Okay. But it's going to be a lot of changes as far as when the fall start to come in. It's a lot of shoes that's coming out that, as the release dates changed. Yeah. So it's we don't want to just bombard all consumers with shoes every week, weekday, weekend. So we're trying to spread it out, because it's a lot of heat coming. So we don't want to have too much stuff going on. and and making sure everything is copacetic.
That was the second question. Will they slow down and maybe back in the day they used to just do one regular season, one playoff.
Yeah.
I know they really can't do that now because
Right.
of the retro, but maybe twice a month, 3 at the most.
Yeah, it's a
that would keep people hungry.
Yeah, and that's what I actually miss. But because of social media, everybody already knows what's coming out.
Yeah.
So basically, what we got to try to do is is keep the suspense going somehow. So that's why usually on my site I try to give little
hints and
thrillers and
trivia and all. Yeah,
trivias and all.
I like that.
Another thing I think too with all the releases, because so many people take L's, the next weekend is for you to look forward to a W, although I took nothing but L's. But I think the frequency kind of contributes to so many L's are being handed out. Well, here's a chance at another W, but we're constantly taking L's to these bots, to things like that. So like, what are you guys doing to help that? Because I've actually sat in a lot of Jordan brand groups at Soul Play ATL. I don't want to say his full name, but you might know him, LH.
Is he based in New York or is he?
No, Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. No, I haven't met too much people.
Yeah, he's here in Atlanta. He is for the North America kind of region.
Oh, okay.
But he's sat in on a lot of Soul Play events out here in Atlanta, and I've met him a few times. I've talked with him a lot of times.
Okay.
And my biggest things with him is what I brought up was like availability. And like, how are you guys actually trying to combat like these bots and stuff? Because we're, regular folks want to get these in hand.
Exactly.
We're not going to pay retail and resale, I should say. We're not going to pay resale every single time just to get a sneaker. Right. Imagine me being a size 4. I have the hardest time because I struggle with paying $300 plus for a $100 sneaker.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then imagine when I work for Foot Locker, so then I have a chance for a discount on top. Yeah, and it's like I can't utilize.
Which Foot Locker you working?
I can't do that. I work at a sneaker store and can't get sneakers, and it's like it defeats the purpose. So how do you guys go from bots eating everything to getting it back into the consumer's hands that actually want to wear these things?
Right. Feast, what Foot Locker you work at though? That's what JD just asked you.
Yeah.
Well, it was Perimeter at Atlanta Perimeter Mall.
Okay.
We have a house.
Gotta pay you guys a visit one day.
Yeah, we have a house of hoops there. So we have the whole, we get a good amount of stuff, but I don't have the same luxury as others. And even at my store, I don't really see it as a luxury because I don't get as much. Once you're I wasn't an assistant manager at first. I got at the top of the list because I was assistant manager. Once I became sales,
Oh, wow.
Because it goes by tenure and then it goes by position. So since I was more of a recent associate and then sales, it put me really at the bottom of the list versus me being the assistant manager where I was at the top of the list. So I went from being able to get stuff to like, I'm working at Foot Locker, but I ain't getting shit.
Right.
Why am I at Foot Locker?
Well, you.
And I know that's not necessarily a question for a Jordan brand, but
yeah, I know. But what I want, because I like to see, the thing is with me, I like to build, our confidence up into what we actually bring to the table. So you as a woman and as a sneakerhead, you bring a lot, and that's why you're there. So never think that you're just there to be there. You have a lot to bring to the table. Especially knowledge. Being a female in the sneaker community and as a whole is something special. Because I remember back in the days, like women couldn't even get sneakers. I mean, they'll be on the line and then they have to get off the line crying.
I stopped becoming a sneakerhead when the lines and the camping started, and I became a sneakerhead again when the apps and stuff came back into play. I was not standing out there by myself. Or no one I knew was a sneakerhead to do that with.
Right. So
I was like a one-woman army.
So to answer your question, so what I did reach out to Sneakers, the person in charge of Sneakers app, and also I'm actually in the process of talking with the VP of footwear to try to come up with some alternatives on how we can, the Jordan brand can actually make the experience better as far as getting shoes and making sure that women actually have a separate entity over the Jumpman pretty much website. So pretty much what I pretty much came up with is a concept to make all women go to a specific site, pretty much like a camp, not a camp really, but just basically somewhere where women can actually purchase the shoes without any issues, and pretty much like a subscription to a club, or just something where the appreciation is a little bit more rewarded.
Yeah, a lot of women spend money. We're either spending money.
I mean, well,
ourselves, or we're spending money on our guys, and it's like we are the ones who ultimately end up in the stores a lot of the time. And I even get like women coming in like, "Hey, I'm trying to get this," and I'm like, "Listen, ladies, the era of walking into a sneaker store and buying recent sneakers is over. That period is over."
Right.
When I used to be in New York on Jamaica Avenue, I could go into a store 3 weeks after release. You know, the Collie Block, every store got a full-size run.
Yeah.
Today, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
You have to do these apps. If you don't do these apps, you're paying resale. And that's what the game has boiled down to. For the average person that doesn't know how to finagle and do all this extra shit, their only options are the apps or resale.
Right.
And so for the average consumer, that's unfair.
Right. So
if I'm the average consumer that doesn't know anything, I should not have to do all of this to purchase your product.
Right. So what do you do you actually come through like a lot of issues as far as being a woman when it comes to Jordan releases? Are you able to get anything, or are you just certain stores or different apps?
I personally go through a lot on sneakers.
Okay.
Sometimes I might. Only way I really go through Foot Locker, Champs, any of those apps is if I actually hit on it. If I don't hit on it, I rely on sneakers at that point.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, I might tell my bro Rico, "Hey, can you use one of your slots for me?" But I really try not to ask him because he makes money off that. I don't want to take one of his potential money slots for my retail slot, Right. And, granted, not all the time he gives it to me for retail, but Rico, I'm his sister. So it's like everybody else get their price. Don't ask about my price. But, Rico be looking out. But I know him looking out for me, take from him. And I try not to ask him because I don't want to take from him. He trying to make money. I respect it. I still want my shit personal though. So, right. I just try not to ask him, but I also try to get it for retail. Worst case scenario, I'll ask him.
So what do you think because I usually ask this I get at least maybe 50 to 100 inboxes a day, especially or even more after a Jordan release. So as a woman, sneaker enthusiast, what do you think the Jordan brand can do better? What do you think as far as releases?
The women's early access that you guys did recently.
Okay.
Off-White. Granted, I did not get it. That my shit say female. I ain't get that though.
Okay.
But for the women that did get it, I was extremely excited for them.
Okay.
Of them being women, and we do not have things like that. Now, I personally do not care so much for women need to have early access, because when it comes to men's sneakers and women want it, men don't get no early access. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I don't think there needs to be any preference on either side of the spectrum, to be honest, men or women. I just need there to be availability on both sides of the spectrum. I just need there to be a plan for bots on both sides of the spectrum. I don't need more exclusivity for women. I don't need more exclusivity for men, because I buy men and women. I go after men's sneakers too, and I think for us to ask for exclusivity as women is unfair, because we're going after all of y'all places like it's no problem.
You know, but
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, it's a lot of
agree with that.
It's a lot of history. I don't know how long you've been collecting, but
I haven't always been able to get everything, so I understand why we might need some of that exclusivity.
I think
I don't think my personal issue was exclusivity. My personal issue was availability.
Yeah, I think
down to what everyone's personal thing is. I like the sneakers that's being put out, which is why the sneakers aren't necessarily my main concern, or exclusivity on either side. My main concern is just availability on both sides. Right. That's my concern.
Well, the whole the exclusivity for women is basically because everything ties into the whole spectrum of accepting and appreciating what women bring to the table as a whole. And I think what has to happen is the women have to get their just due. I think I've been in in the streets for many, many years, talking to a lot of sisters and a lot of women as a whole. And I think the time is now, especially as far as for women designers, women, having, the correct representation. I think it's best that the exclusivity is just one step. I think
women are so different. Like men can agree on a lot of things in a general sense, I feel like, but women, we're very picky, very different. Like a lot of the shoe jewelry that's coming out now, that doesn't appeal to me. I don't really care for none of that stuff.
Right.
Or like the shoe jewelry, and a lot of women do care for it, but a lot of women are like, yes, we finally getting some more women stuff besides pink. But for me, I'm cool with what's out. I just need to be able to get what's been coming out.
Right. So your issue is just getting the shoe.
The super girly and the pinks and the shoe jewelries. I'm more of a tomboy anyway. So I like a lot of the man sneakers. I just like more availability to get it, and more availability to get the stuff that's actually made for me. Women's sneakers. Look how I had to get these tie-dye ones. My bro Rico had to get these for me, and these were the same ones that I saw at a
Shout out to Rico. I don't know him, but you
I saw these at a Jordan Brand meeting that we had at Soul Play, and when these were shown, I said months before, I'm gonna get those. Everyone was kind of iffy at the meeting at the time, but I was like, I like those. And when they finally dropped, I said, yo, I seen these months ago. I'm getting them. I didn't stand a chance retail.
I'm glad you got them. I'm glad you got them.
But luckily, my bro Rico came through tonight, and he finally dropped them off. So I finally got a pair. But if it's not for people like him, I'm not buying $300 and $400 pairs of sneakers. I wear size 4. I could even wear preschool. I could wear preschool 3.
Is he a reseller?
He
Rico,
is. He's affordable. He's not over the moon.
Man, nobody's affordable to me that's a reseller.
I think he's
they're a reseller. They're a reseller because they're trying to make money. Yeah. So those are the people who are eating up. And you say exclusivity, you say you want more quantity. I'm saying women's shoes, women should have the first pick, period.
For women's
shoes.
For women's shoes.
For women's shoes.
Yeah.
I see more men wearing women's shoes than women.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
granted, because of bots, and then a lot of men buy the women's shoes and try to sell back to us.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I think JD is saying
We are not
that they
buying
need
that
to
shit for resale.
have a certain section.
We're not buying it
on
for
an
2
app.
times the price.
Hold on.
2.5
Hold on. You gotta listen. Hold on. I'm trying to get it where women need their own section. Well, on a women's release, where some kind of way men can't finagle their way into that site or into that section that is trying to be set aside for women to get releases.
Right.
When it's a women's release, it's supposed to be for women first. Even with the extended sizes, I know some Bigfoot women that wear size 12 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it's for men. That's a size 11.
Now, do you think men should be given the same right?
There's more shoes there's bigger numbers that release for the men.
Okay.
So there's more chances of women getting men's shoes, and it's always been that way.
I think that goes back to my thing of availability. If we had more quantity, regardless of men or women, everyone can have at least a better attempt. I'm not saying we all gonna win, but we at least get a better attempt at a win if we had better availability for.
But then I also think,
availability. So I'll say more so women.
But then I also think, Feats, like, I agree and then I disagree, because if there's more availability, then there's more availability for these IT tech proxy bots, Negroes.
But let's get more availability with the same token of being able to combat that. You can't not be able to combat bots and then just throw in 50,000 more pairs. That's just more 50,000 more pairs for the fucking goddamn bots to eat.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
So if you're gonna have more availability, you still have to be able to combat that process of battling bots.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking in a lot of.
Sneakers has been on the rise. I've been running a Feats Madness every month. I do like the top sneakers of the month head to head, and see which sneaker wins that shoe of the month. And for January, the women's OG won. And last month in June, the women's tie-dye won. And this last month that just passed, July, the women's off-white won, the off-white 4s.
Yeah.
So, with what I've been running, women releases have been ultimately winning the shoe of the month, of that month in a sense. 3 months out of all the months we've had so far. And that's, I think, a lot bigger than what people would expect, from, previous years, because women, I feel like sneakers wasn't a thing. When I came into the community, things for women weren't a big thing. Things designated for us, things designed for us, things made for us, things that focused on us was not a big thing. I do feel like me coming to the community from then till now, 2018, a little bit till 2019, 2020, I do feel like women are becoming more of the focal point. And we spend a lot of money in this sneaker thing, and I think we're getting overlooked. But for me personally, my journey has just been the lack of availability because I'm a size 4.
Yeah, I mean, and you being a size 4, that's just a
double-edged sword.
Yeah, I wouldn't say size 4 is a unicorn size, but it damn near is. Especially for if something comes out and it's in a men's full size run, like, you're not getting it. Or if they do come out with something in your size, it won't look the same as the men full size run.
Totally changed. Yes.
I lose details, and I have this one, for instance. Where's my 8? I show this one all the time.
Boxes are different. You might,
hang tag. If it's a hang tag, sometimes they don't even get the hang tag.
So my 8, and these are a size 3. They don't come with any laces because they're a size 3. So they come with the straps.
They look like a toddler shoe, man, because they ain't got no shoelaces. That's crazy.
It's not GS. It's preschool. Preschool 3.
That's the best.
I lose any sneaker that has like the Nike Air on the preschool, I lose the Air. It will say Nike and it will have the check, but I lose the Air part.
Hey, at least you got the pull tab on those alternate 8s though.
Grade 8s.
Yeah. JD, one good thing.
I did better when I got my aquas to get it grade school. So I got these in the size 4, which are now grade school. So now I got the laces. Now I got all the details. But one thing I do lose from preschool to grade school is a chance at some key details.
Now, JD, one good thing to interject in this. You did a post on Instagram maybe like a week ago or a couple of days ago, and talking in reference to well, I'll let you talk about it, but you were talking about like reselling and different things about that were issues that you wanted to point out.
Yeah, so it was basically I got some information, customer, I'm not going to say the state or where the shoe was, but I did see on YouTube that it was a gentleman, so I guess he's a YouTuber, and he actually went inside a Foot Locker, and the associate that works there actually brought a shoe out that wasn't supposed to be shown, and he was actually blogging, pretty much doing a review, and then he was like, it was just basically the wrong thing to do. I didn't say, I pretty much know the store, I know the location and everything, but that was besides the point. The point is that the agreement that Nike Jordan brand has with these different vendors is not to bring shoes out before a release to show anybody. So all employees, all managers or district managers should know that. They should know that their employees have to abide by the rules that was put forth, not to show or bring out shoes before the release date, because release dates still stand. If people at Nike Town and Nike and the Nike factories and the Nike towns have to obey that, then all other vendors like Foot Locker, Finish Line, Champs, so forth and so on, they have to do the same thing. Because then that's kind of misleading the consumer, and then other people see that, and then they say, well, if he can bring out the shoe, then maybe I can bring out the shoe, and not only that, but maybe I can do an under the table thing, and charge people, and then that's it's unfair. So when the release date comes out, I've had incidents where stores were selling the shoes and they was keeping the boxes and to make it look like the shoes were still in stock, but they wasn't. Then when the shoe came out, they'd tell the customers is everything is sold out. So I think what has to happen is managers that's in charge of their stores and particular locations and different locations need to keep the integrity of the brand, of whether it's Foot Locker, House of Hoops, Finish Line, whatever. They have to keep the integrity of where they work, so that way customers can enjoy and have that experience, and so that way they can get the sizes rather than saying that they sold out and then they're doing under the table, backdooring. A lot of, and I know a lot of places that do it. I know a lot of a lot of information. I mean, I'm in New York, but a lot of information comes all over from different states, and like I always tell them, I can't be responsible for those particular stores, but what I can do is make my visits and just talk to the managers and let them know, this is the way you have to do it. I don't know who your Eakins are. I don't know who your sales managers are, but this is the way. Back in the days, this is the way it was done, and this is the way you should be doing it, so that way you can actually inspire the younger generation that's coming in that really don't know better, that really don't know how the consumer experience is supposed to be, because that's one of the main problems when I go to stores. For one, product knowledge and history of Jordan Brand. They don't know. They don't really know.
No one knows anything.
So what has to happen is when Gentry Humphreys, the footwear, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he basically was at Jordan Brand when Jordan Brand first started, you know, it's in '98. So he's been there from beginning to now. So he has seen the changes and the hype, because back then it was no social media. So everything it was basically advertising and basically doing the grassroots work and going out and letting people know, you know, what's coming out, what's hot. And now everybody knows everything. It's no secret to what Jordan Brand has in store. Only what the brand actually doesn't want people to know. And there's a lot of things that that I know is that I can't really say what's coming out. Right. So it's a lot of things. It's just, you know, stores have to just make the consumer experience fun again. You know, everything is just about, I want to make a post, I want to do this, I want to do that. And that's cool. But when you start to, you know, jeopardize people's jobs to do something to get views or to get something to get your, you know, your likes and stuff like that, I think that's where the line has to be drawn. And I've seen over the years that if people I know Jumpman probably remember, like Foot Locker actually lost their account years ago, you know, with Jordan Brand. They actually did a lot of stuff back in the days that actually took their accounts away. So they actually had to earn that trust and that respect back. So I don't want to see them backslide, you know, and do the same thing again by doing that, because it is being done, and it's not, that wasn't just the only store. There's plenty of stores that I know of, and they're actually being watched. You know, there's a lot of things that's in place to keep the integrity of Jordan Brand, but also to make sure that people are doing their due diligence and making sure that their leading managers and district managers are leading by example.
So JD, one thing, a few people have been saying it in the comment section. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they've been talking about where it's like there's not any product knowledge being shared to employees at all now. Nothing but a bunch of boutiques. But a lot of people have been saying that in the comment section.
Right. You're right. And one is shout out to Jeff in Foot Locker in downtown Brooklyn. I had asked him one time, and it's kind of funny, but it's not, because I take what I do serious. And I think what has to happen is that love and passion has to come back, you know, with people. I can't be responsible on how people do their jobs, you know, because I remember back in the days when I worked for Foot Locker, and that was in '98. You understand? I remember what I had to do in order to gain my consumers' not trust, because nobody cares how much you know. They only care how much you care.
Yeah.
So I don't really care about them just knowing the product knowledge. I want them to care about the consumer and build that clientele. And so that way, anytime when you want, you know, because a lot of times people say, well, nobody wants this because it's not selling. Well, for one, you have to, you know, curate the sale. You have to curate.
Exactly. They don't know it's comfortable.
You have to create the enthusiasm behind what you're presenting and representing. So if you're not out there, you know, if you're just lackadaisical and you're just, you know, when I come into stores, they don't know who I am. I come regular, and they're like, what size you want? And I'm like, huh? What store am I at? You know, let me know where I'm at. Then I can make that decision. So basically what it is, you know, everybody have to treat everybody, because you never know who's coming in those doors, in your doors, wherever you work. I tell all of the younger associates that when I meet them, you never know who coming in. I remember one time the vice president of Jordan Brand, Gentry, and I, we went into the new Flight 23 store downtown Brooklyn that is actually partnered with Foot Action. And we went in, and nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew who I was. And they just was going on. It took them like about 15, 20 minutes to say, you know, Hi,
Big dog
welcome
in the house.
to Flight 23, you know. So you know, I asked, I said, you know, how's this shoe doing? I was referring to the 14s with the shadow gray with the perforated holes in them. And he was like, oh yeah, the 16s are doing good. You know, so I was, Gentry and I, we just looked at each other, and it was like, and I asked him how long he's been working there. So he said 2 weeks. So the whole problem is managers have to do their due diligence and have meetings. So have sales meetings, have product knowledge meetings, because not all the time you're going to have Nike Eakins to come to your location. Back in the days, I didn't have a Nike Eakin always. That back in the days, I don't know if you guys remember a guy named Astor Chambers. He used to work for Nike. He was actually my Eakin way back then. He's with Adidas now. So all that time, when he used to come in, he used to be blown away, because I used to like break down everything, but because I wanted to actually, I didn't want the consumer to just come in and just buy a shoe. I wanted them to know everything, the ins and outs, so that way I won't have to worry about them returning those shoes. You know, the only thing I want them to do is be, you know, happy about their decision, and giving them the right shoe that they actually was looking for. Because sometimes people are, you know, looking for certain shoes, but then they're offered something that's totally different from what they're looking for. You know, and that's the problem that I'm seeing today. It's not that, you know, it's another thing that, you know, people say, well, Jordans are whack, and it's not selling. Nobody wants them. It's not that nobody wants them. For one, you have to educate them about what the shoe is.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you have to, you know, present the sell. You have to let the consumer know, like, look, man, this, and then like it also depends on what you're wearing. You know, if you're not wearing, you know, a lot of times people, they're wearing all Adidas, but then they're talking down about Jordan brand, you know, and then, you know, so and I never did that. Even when I was at Foot Locker, I represented all brands, but the brand that I always wanted to work for was Nike and Jordan, but I didn't talk down to Adidas and, you know, all these other brands, New Balance and so forth and so on, because I never knew who was coming in those doors. You understand? And I wanted to keep my integrity and keep the store's integrity, so that way they won't say, well, you know, that guy was talking down to Adidas, you know. And even though I'm a Nike guy, I would never do that, because it's your job to know the competitors and know, okay, if 80% of my clientele are all Jordans, and then the next 20 is Adidas, I'm not going to talk bad about the 20. I'm going to show them that, look, you may be like an Adidas, but these shoes are a little bit more an advantage of what you need. So then that way you can actually learn what your consumer wants, what he or she wants, and then you can make them make the decision and then help them along with the process. So I think it's about passion, and anybody can get a job in any of these stores now. I remember back in the day, it was so hard to get a job in these.
It's hard to get a job in these sneaker stores. And one
now
thing
they just seem like they're just hiring.
No, they not. One thing I do want to highlight, because you said you were in the stores in like 98, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I started at Foot Locker as an assistant manager around February, before COVID kind of took off.
Oh, okay.
And I recently just left.
Oh.
And I left as sales.
Okay.
So I stepped down and everything while at the position, did sales for a little while, and then ultimately left the position, because I feel like a lot of what you're expressing is what I thought I would have gotten when I signed up for the job. As far as the passion and people being knowledgeable, it's a lot of just, as long as you got a big butt and a smile, you can swindle some of these guys to buy sneakers. So who cares what you know? When I'm in the back, it's over there. This is what the sneaker called. It's that. And I'm providing all of these little knowledge notes, because you have people that don't know what they're looking for.
Right. And that's exactly when when you come in, because people have to, first of all, another story. When I went into Ladies Foot Locker in Soho a couple of years ago, it was a customer in there. Once again, nobody knew who I was. And I just like to come in. I like to go in stores to see how people would react to a consumer like myself. Because if I'm coming in, I want to blend in just like everybody else, just so that way, don't give me no perfect, no great treatment, because when I come in, oh, that's JD, stuff like that. But I want people to understand that you have to know the product, so that way, anytime when somebody comes in, and say for instance, if somebody wants a running shoe and you offer them a trail running shoe, you're going to have issues, because it's time and time again, people will return stuff because that's not what they're looking for. Yeah. So your job as a sales associate is, you ambassador of whatever store you work for, is that you have to know the product, you have to know how to sell. But don't look at it as selling. Look at it as presenting something that the consumer needs.
Yes, and people think like Jordans and Foot Locker are the go-to, and I'm like, we don't got no Jordans on the House of Hoop side, so that's not even a good fallback plan, because all the good Jordans is gone. Right. So you have to act like I feel like in sneaker stores today, you have to sell the other sneakers, because for everyone that walks in and wants a Jordan that we know is not there, we have to convince them on something else.
Right. I don't think what you have to do.
Something else's are. If you know nothing else but Jordans, how you gonna sell it?
Right, and that's the whole thing. It's providing suggesting. Suggestive selling is pretty much something where you don't have to feel like you have to, the consumer have to buy right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Just be suggestive. Just say, well, these Jordans are okay, but if depending on your game and your position, as far as if you're a basketball player, you may want something a little bit more, well-rounded,
sturdier and whatnot.
Sturdier, right. So then that way, you start to learn the technology of Nike. Well, a 250 pounder is not gonna, rock with a Zoom Air. They're gonna need something more heavier, like a Max Air unit. So all these things play in part.
But that's how it did.
Where would someone find? Because for someone like if you just want to find that out, mm-hmm. Where is a good resource or a good place to get those kind of?
Well, the whole thing is, things has changed over the years. So it depends. I don't know if Eakins. I don't know if you know what Eakin is. It's Nike spelled backwards. So those are reps that come to different areas that have selling accounts, mm-hmm. For stores like Foot Locker, Foot Action, so forth and so on. They usually have tech meetings where they actually come in and teach.
We don't get that now that they got the whole Nike.
So you know what? You know what you have to do? You have to do your due diligence, and that's the key word. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to take it a step further. I'm gonna step off for 1 second, but I'm gonna show you what I did back in the days. I'm gonna show you something.
Okay.
I mean, if you Google a shoe name, a lot of times it'll come up with the materials.
Yeah.
What the shoe is basically used for. That's probably your number one source right there.
Okay.
That you have nowadays that we didn't have back in the day. A lot of stuff I found out about shoes were in magazines, but now you have the internet. But you had the internet now.
Yeah.
And it's so much more there. Like sometimes when a shoe comes out, I'll Google it just so I can find out what the inspiration was, mm-hmm. what the materials are, just so I don't say nubuck and it's suede. Sometimes they look similar, but you get on camera and you say something, that's the first thing people watching your video is gonna catch on to, is that you said something wrong.
And I think a lot of the stuff that goes on between, I guess, Nike branded stores and like Foot Locker stores and Champs and everything under that umbrella is really different, because Like with Foot Locker now, we couldn't even wear recent releases until
What?
2 weeks after it released because they didn't want to deal with customers being like, well, how you got those? And I'm looking for what you got on. Well, then look harder, nigga. The fuck? Why I can't wear what I got because you don't got it. I agree with not wearing it for release date. I can give y'all that. But if it releases Monday, I want to wear my shit Monday to work. I gotta wait 2 Mondays after it releases. And to me, that makes no sense because I feel like I could sell more wearing stuff that's more recent because it's like, oh, I want those. Like, and I never wanted to be at the store like, well, that's the store rule. That's not a Foot Locker rule. So unless you get me from the handbook where it says I can't wear releases for 2 weeks after it releases, then I'm going to keep wearing my releases. I hate to kind of be that person at the job where it's like I got to pull the handbook out on you. But at the same time, it's like y'all trying to implement rules that don't really exist. Because you missed it, JD, but at my Foot Locker, they didn't want us to wear releases that released within 2 weeks. We had to wait until 2 weeks after release date to wear it to avoid customers being, well, where'd you get yours? And I want those. And, oh, I can't get a pair because all of you guys got a pair. And it's
that don't even make any sense. I think what really makes sense is you wearing a shoe prior to the shoe coming out. Like, say for instance, the alternate Bel Airs, they come out the 15th. You walk in,
circulating.
Yeah, you walk in the store with them on Monday. You understand? That is more understandable. But to say you can't wear it after it was already released, I think that actually
not 1 week, 2 weeks.
Right. So that's actually taken away
from the hype of it.
From the not just the hype, but it's taken away the consumer experience from your location. Because when you can't just base everything around one shoe, because then what is that? What are you working for if you're just going to say, well, if y'all don't got that, then that's where the suggestive selling comes in. Because sometimes consumers want to be persuaded to buy something. They want to see what you know, even though you may not have something. And I've seen it over and time again. Even if a customer don't see something that they like, or they're looking for a particular shoe and the store don't have it, they want to see if you can offer them something and that same value that they wanted, but they didn't see and they couldn't get because it was sold out.
Yeah, and I always tell them to my defense of that rule was when I would wear like my Air Max 1 Safaris. Those was how many years ago? People were still, oh my God, where'd you get those? I'm like, it don't matter if it was 2 weeks, 1 week, a year. People still want certain shoes. So no matter when I wear it, if they can't get it, they can't get it. But that doesn't take away from them wanting it.
Yeah, they what you see what I sometimes do, and when you follow the rules, everything works out in your favor. So just to piggyback, when I was working for Foot Locker, they pretty much almost said the same thing, but just worded differently. But what I did was I'm very good with people, that people that know me over the years, and I'm good with networking with people. So when I was at Foot Locker, I was already networking with people like Tinker Hatfield in that time. So I think I sent, after the last shot when the 14s were released, and I got them like 2 to 3 weeks prior to the release. I think I emailed Tinker like about 30 times on those shoes. Like, but the fact of the matter is that you have to make sure that you're creating an environment around yourself and not creating issues because Foot Locker changed a lot over the years. So my thing is always try to follow the rules to the best of your ability, so that way your experience working can be a good one as well. I wouldn't put too much emphasis in wearing certain things. If they don't want you to wear it, and you get pretty much like a 30% discount. I don't know how much it is now, but
yeah, 30.
Yeah, so you get that, and you just try to wear what they actually suggest that you wear.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's just even outside of that. I feel like I got into a sneaker store too deep into where I am in like the sneaker culture in a sense. Maybe if I was kind of fresh in the beginning, a lot of what they do would be okay. But for me to be a little seasoned and to deal with how they operate now, for me, it's not worth it because you have, you got people that are looking out for their friends. You got managers that are looking out for certain employees. No matter how you want to cut, slice, or dice it, like it happens. We got people that putting stuff on reserve that is reserved in the app, but make it make sense. But I just mind my business. I'm doing what I need to do to just keep my job and not keep it moving. But I see everything that's going on. I just don't partake. But
so basically, what you have to do is you pretty much have to, like I said before, don't worry about the outside things that's going on, because the same thing that's happening with you happened to me back then too. But it wasn't so much as backdooring, but it was mainly, just trying to look out for people that they knew.
Yeah, because we're not.
I took a different approach
for ourselves. Believe it or not, like we don't actually get as much access as people think we do for ourselves to buy. Right. It's more so we telling someone else, "Hey, you come in and buy it. I can buy it off you. I can't buy it, and I'm a damn employee."
Right.
But it's like it's a lot of you come in, you get it, you get all multiple pairs, but I know my pair is in there.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. But I feel like not just my store, a lot of stores, it's happening as far as the lack of needing the knowledge. It's just a lot of, you have a nice smile and a nice body, you got a job.
So where are you actually working now?
Well, I actually left because they wouldn't allow people to wear masks, or didn't want to, make customers have to wear masks. And where I am in Atlanta, everywhere else you have to wear masks except that Foot Locker job I would have been going to. So I recently just left because they're not making customers wear masks. Okay. And I can wear masks, but if you don't wear a mask and you're coughing in the air, you're doing this, and that doesn't protect me as much as I'm wearing a mask. Right. You need to wear one to keep your virus inside your mask. So to me, it was just like, I don't see why we don't have people wearing masks. And I was just like, everywhere else I go, they kind of wear it. So I didn't feel like putting myself at risk any further being at a mall. And I was working Saturdays only, 1 to 8, the most busiest time.
Oh, wow.
I was like, yeah.
Are the malls open in Atlanta now? Because I know down here in Brooklyn, they still closed, actually.
No, Atlanta's open, and Keisha actually put a mask mandate, and our governor is suing her and basically telling her, well, you can't go over me, so masks aren't required.
What?
Stores are just kind of like, well, he overrides her, so masks aren't required. But she makes very valid points as to why masks should be required. And the other 3 counties here that he isn't suing have made masks mandatory, and he isn't bothering them. But he's bothering Keisha because she's black female.
I love your passion, and I don't think you should stop working just because of that. I think what has to happen is you have to just probably reevaluate where you're going to be accepted and appreciated at. I think because you'll be good at Nike. You'll be good at.
I've been trying my hardest to get into the Nike Atlanta store, because I feel like it would be a lot better as far as kind of just how they do and operate.
Yeah. And
the passion that's kind of over there is a lot more what I'm looking for right now, and I would love to be.
And they wear masks, so. So I was at Foot Locker and I told the manager in Brooklyn store on Pickens Avenue, and great guy. I know him since he was a regular associate, and now he's running the store. And that's just to show you the progression and the professionalism and integrity it takes to go anywhere you want to go. But this brother, his brother name is CJ. I told him, you know, I seen his staff running around. Everybody has masks, and this was a Foot Locker. So I told him, I said, you know, I don't want to see nobody pass out. For one, if you're running around, you're not supposed to cover your nose. You're supposed to just leave that uncovered and just cover your mouth, but not your nose, because you can actually inhale oxygen when you're trying to exhale, and that's how you get sick as well. So this is something that a lot of people have to take in consideration as well, and just do their due diligence to learn the importance of wearing a mask and how to wear it the proper way. Because if you're running up and down, you're sweating, you're running, and you know you're gonna pass out. You know it's gonna happen. You know, and you cannot cover your mouth and nose and run around with. You know, Foot Locker people are the hardest working people I've seen. You know, and sometimes you got to run down escalator stairs. You know,
you got people that be asking, they size 8 asking for size 11 to try on. Like, you know, you is not to fit that, but you sending me to the back for it.
Yeah,
I'm going back and I'm going to tell you that it's out of stock because you're trying me.
So what I'm going to talk, I'm going to make sure if you're on Instagram, just follow me on Instagram. I'll give you some information on, you know, the process on how to apply. Because you're in Atlanta, but I don't really know too much people, but I'll find out. I'll find out who's
Hey, go.
I'm real passionate, you know. It's just I wasn't feeling some of the rules at that Foot Locker.
Hey, go. Hey, Go had a Goat wanted to come in. He had a question, which was really valid. So I'm glad he came through, because I was about to say it, but he came on through. So he can say his own question. Go ahead. And Goat work at Foot Locker too, so I know he can say a lot about it as well. So
Hey, what's up, everybody? JD, my question was, I live in North Carolina.
Where you from, man? Oh, you in North Carolina?
Yeah, in Charlotte.
Okay.
So you probably already know what my question is about. Yeah. Man, but being that Michael Jordan is from the state,
right,
and he owns a professional basketball team, an NBA team, how come we don't get like the major exclusives here in Charlotte? It's like,
well, like I said before, sometimes, you know, it depends on the region. Mm-hmm. And it also depends on the sales manager. So whoever the sales manager is, as far as your location, you have to ask them, because they have to then do their due diligence and see what the store, see how the traffic flows, see what the consumers are you know, because when I, not to go off topic, but this is how I do when I go, and I'm not a sales manager, but when I go into stores, I do observations. I see what consumers are picking up. Mm-hmm. I see what they're wearing. I see which company they're picking up the most, whether it's Nike or Jordan or Adidas or New Balance or any other different type of new vendor out there. And I'll see how much people are buying Jordan brand products, whether it be footwear or apparel, versus everybody else. You understand? And then that way I can say, well, this customer came in and asked for X, Y, and Z, and they don't even have it, you know? So then that way the sales manager can have some type of proof on what the stores need versus what another store is getting that's not even really being suggested, you know, and knowledgeable of what they actually have in their store. Because some stores, they have some exclusive stuff, and they don't know what the hell they got.
That's what I was agreeing with Feats earlier. Like, I've been with the company this is 8 years.
Oh, okay. And congratulations, man.
Thank you. And like a lot of the people I work with, I just look at them like, why are you here? Like, they can't tell. They really can't explain anything to customers, or like, what does this shoe do? Like, I've had people come up to me and ask me, you know what this shoe is, you know what it's about, like
right. So go. What is your position?
Why you asking me questions?
What is your position at Foot Locker?
Oh, I'm a part-time sales because I'm a PE teacher, so I just do it like on the weekends and during the summers when we out of school. Like I work like every day during the summer.
So what I want to do. Are you on Instagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we gonna talk more because I always talk to part-timers because sometimes part-timers. I started as a part-time at first, but then I already went in having a passion. When I talked to the sales manager back then, he asked me, he told me, he said, look, I already got my sales staff. I never forget him. Shout out to John. And I said, look, I'm not here to just work. I'm here to create.
Yeah.
And I'm here to create something. I'm here to create your store to be the best. And at the time, back then, I was at Foot Locker on Times Square. Now that location was the only store.
Times Square, baby.
That was the only location that all the famous people.
Times Square. That's the heart.
I mean, I had my whole clientele with the Hot Boys. I remember when I spoke to Lil Wayne, I asked him, do he remember when he bought those when Baby spent over 2 G's on Air Max on white on white Air Max,
bro. Like it's crazy. Oh, my bad.
No, that's cool. And so what I want you to do is because this is what I was going to show Feats when I went to go get. This is what I did back in the days when she said, how do you find knowledge? Like, how do you get knowledgeable stuff about shoes? I don't know if Feats or you remember East Bay.
Oh yeah.
I know all the brothers on top and know about East Bay. What I wanted to do
that, man.
What I wanted to do is when my man Astor Chambers, who used to be the Eakin for Nike, he works for Adidas now. And I don't know if you guys ever heard a fabulous song, Keeping It Gangster. Just take a listen to it when
I'm from New York, so
when he said I get Nikes from Astor you won't see in the stores for 6 months. That's the guy that they was talking about.
Oh wow.
You understand? He's on Instagram too. Very good dude. And all the Eakins, I wanted to prove to them that I know 10 times than what you know. And now you work for Nike, but I'm gonna make sure that when you come to ask me questions about shoes, I'm going to tell you from top to bottom. And I'm going to not only tell you that, but I'm going to tell you about stuff that's not even on the market yet that you guys got. So what I used to do is when customers used to come in, and it's not pride or arrogance, it's just confidence. So when customers come in, you're not competing with nobody because you're creating your own clientele. And this is what I tell them. They say, well, JD, how can I sell this? It's $200, it's $300. You create your clientele.
Exactly.
You must know what you're getting. You look at the manifest a week in advance. You show the manager, look, I need the manifest so I can know what the hell is coming out. I have 200 customers that's coming in. You understand? You create that enthusiasm. You create that hype, your own hype. You don't need social media for hype. You create the hype for yourself. So that way, when customers coming in, they already know. Oh no, Goat got me. He got what I want. You understand? That's what you have to do. But that's what I did because I wanted to educate people that came into the stores. And customers that I wanted to let them know that, look, I want to be honest and straightforward with you. The shoe you're asking for is not what you need. This is what you need. Oh, why? Well, because you have a high arch and this shoe is low to the ground. So when you look at when customers, they start to take a liking in you and start to see that you are very passionate about what you're doing. And for one, you're passionate and you're honest. You ain't just trying to sell them something, And that way they can understand, like, look, this is the type of person I want to be my sales associate. Right. And this is the person I want to deal with. So this is what I used to do. This is back in, if you could make the screen bigger.
I got you.
This is back in 98. As you can see how old it is.
Ooh.
White pop.
98. So this is what I wanted. I had to do, educate myself. I didn't wait for Nike or anybody else to educate me, because I knew if I wanted to work with them in the future, I had to know about this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I would get transferred to other stores, and then you would have technical people that really know about shoes that don't like Nike, and they like Asics, and they like Saucony and all these different other shoes. And I had to know about the competitors. I couldn't just know about Nike and Jordan. I had to know about everything, you know. So what I wanted to do is, first I wanted to ask, what I did with Astor, I asked him about product knowledge. I didn't ask for shoes, because that's the first thing they think everybody's going to ask them for. Oh, can I get a size this, that, and the third? And he was actually blown away too, because he said, "You're the first person I ever asked for anything technology, you know, for technical purposes." So this is what I actually put together to learn about the key symbols of Nike and their technology. So this is back in 98. As you know, everything is advanced now. Now we got React.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing about that, one time, real quick, JD, is that you created that and that you made that on your own.
Yeah. And it's crazy when I show people this, they're like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. Because back in the day, though, JD, it's funny, because back in the day, people would come in the store and they would be like, for example, you know, they would be like, "Well, what's a TN? What's a TL?"
Right.
And if you didn't know, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People, if they come in there and ask you them questions and you sit there and look dumb, they gonna walk. They used to walk right out the day. They like, "Yo, this nigga don't even know what he talking about, yo." Like they would leave. You know what I'm saying?
And that makes me wonder too, like, for someone who just walks into the game today, how far back as far as knowledge do they need to go?
And what do you mean? Like, as far as with the shoes, or
just general knowledge as far as silhouettes, technology?
Oh, I go all the way.
I'm still relatively new to the knowledge aspect. I didn't know the backstory.
You know what? You don't put a limit. You don't put a limit on your own knowledge, on what you have to know. You prepare yourself, because what I had to do is prepare myself, because I didn't know who was coming in the store. So I had to prepare not only for those technical geeks, but I had to also, because a lot of people, when they come in, they think it's just about just getting a shoe and that's it. So you don't have to know anything. And that's where the downfall comes in when it comes to passion. Because
you're speaking of a time I wish what I thought I would get going into Foot Locker, but I didn't.
Well, you
could have been that though, Feets. You still could be that.
Yeah, exactly.
You still could be that.
Exactly.
It's hard to kind of change where that.
No, because you're still young in the process.
Just because they just have so much in who the managers are. Like, they've been there for, like, they've been running it like that for years. It's accustomed to being like that for years, and I'm like, this could be so much better, because I'm so new. No one's gonna listen to me.
So that way, you know what you do? You take your past negative experiences and build on your future positive.
Yeah.
You understand? You never hold on to whatever. You learn from it, but then you become, because at Nike they don't say managers, they say coach. You understand? So when you become a coach, then that way you can teach the same way or even better. You understand? And use Foot Locker as that example that you don't want to remember. Because remember, everybody teaches different and everybody presents different. So, you know, and the world is full of everybody. And you're not like everybody. You yourself, your Feet. So you be the best you. So that way, when the person comes to Feet, they say, "You know what? I like the way Feet it teaches. I like how she models, you know, how to be positive, how to you know, create the consumer experience." And that's the type of manager or coach I want to have represent me. So that's when you go into, because you go into Nike with that negative energy, you're gonna go right back out.
Yeah.
You understand? Because at Nike, they build you up so that way you become the best you, not nobody else.
Go ahead, BX, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, JD?
What's up, brother?
Talk all night.
What you said?
It's probably the most you talk all night. You know, I got.
No, he's patient. He's patient.
Quick question I have.
Yeah.
What is your stance on your look? Jordan Brand look on Mr. Bostic up there in the corner. Do they know who he is? Do they recognize him as, you know, the godfather, what we call him in the sneaker community of Jordans?
Listen,
Mr. Jordan Brand over there.
Let me just say this. The right people know who Jumpman Bostic is, and I'm gonna leave it as that. Remember what I just said. The right people knows who that man is.
Well, our Godfather's open for open for some.
So that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And when he was on the show, last time when Jumpman Bostic was on the show, him and I we actually rapped. And we met after that, and the rest is history. So he don't need to worry about nobody else knowing him. The best thing is that he's one of the most passionate people I've ever seen represent the Jordan brand. He's pretty much the ambassador of what the brand was looking like, did look like, and should look like today. And having respect for what the brand represents.
Appreciate that.
You know, I every time I go out, I try to look for that. I try to look for, you know, because it's just too much. It's too much. It's not enough passion behind the hype. It's hype, and then everything else is bottom feeders. You know, it's not. You know, we first and foremost, I would always have respect for the women sneakers in the community because they are the most passionate, loving, supportive people I've ever seen. Who, from the beginning, when I used to go out there, and I'm the person on a street level that go store to store to store from 6 a.m. all the way to damn near almost 6 p.m. talking to people, getting the important feedback. Because numbers, you got to understand something. Numbers are good, but if you don't have the correct insight and the feedback from the source, which is the people that's buying the product, then everything else is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You understand? And if you don't show that love and that appreciation to the people who's keeping the brand to the way it is today, then it doesn't make any sense. And the brand recognizes that. They always recognize that, and they always recognize Jumpman Bostic and appreciated him. You know, as well as a lot of other people, because remember, Jordan hasn't played the game of basketball for almost 20 years. You understand? And the brand is still up there, and it's growing above and beyond a lot of people's expectations. In Europe, it's even more crazier. In France, they love Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up.
Is probably Jordan Brand the most
question? I have a follow-up question.
From
I remember they used to have a website. How come Jordan Brand doesn't have a website where you can go and like purchase your sneakers and stuff like that? If they do, I'm not really knowledgeable about it.
It is. It's just it's still tied into Nike. So when you go into Nike, it actually when you go on the bottom, it actually has a section where it's just Jordan, everything.
Yeah.
What I proposed and what I came up with is I don't know if you remember back in the days, Jordan Brand had a club membership, which was a Fight Club.
Yes.
And what I suggested, because it seems like the problem is not getting better, it's getting worse when it comes to women getting their shoes. And
Agreed.
You know, back in the days, they couldn't even get men. They had to settle for 7 men's, and it didn't fit because the foot, the woman's foot is totally structured different from a man's foot. It's not the same. So what we had to do is Jordan Brand had to go in and find out a better way to incorporate identity just for women, so that way they won't be trying to squeeze in a man's foot and have this inch space in the shoe, you know. And it's gotten better. I mean, the women even have a clothing line that's crazy. Wait till you see Freaks. Wait till you see the women's clothing line that's coming out.
We talked about that at the last Jordan Brand meeting that was out here in Atlanta, and then the one that they had on the Zoom call.
But it's going to be even better.
I know you guys are doing a lot of things coming that I love. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
But the one thing I always stress at those meetings is I love the women's stuff. I like the men's stuff as well. I just need some availability on that side. And Kev said it in a good way. If passion needs to be more rewarded, we are forced to go through resellers or just decide to not buy. When we're the ones who truly want to wear it, your products are no longer going into the hands of the majority that wants to truly wear it. So yeah, you guys are making your retail money, but your consumers are still upset. We're not getting it.
Right. And that's why I, you know, what I do is beyond priceless, because without you guys' feedback, Jordan, I mean, you can have as much meetings if you want, but when you go to these different states, because it's different demographics, like Houston, Texas is untouched when it comes to Jordan Brand. So when you go to these different states and you really see what is needed versus what everybody's getting, and then when you look at Europe, it's something that needs to be done, because the connection and communication is.
I was wondering that too. I don't know if it's
I have another question. I remember a few years ago, it seems like Jordan Brand was pushing out a lot of sneakers in humongous quantities where they were sitting, and then a couple of years they reduced the quantity. It's like they're getting smaller and smaller what the quantity they're releasing.
Yes.
Is that something that they're doing? Because right now you go on the sneakers app or anywhere, you catch an L because they go in seconds. But before, they were releasing so much that they were sitting on the shelves. Did Jordan make a conscious attempt to reduce the quantity of what they're putting out?
Well, real quick, JD, I remember, I know Goat can probably remember, this was a couple years ago. I mean, even talking on YouTube, where I remember even Goat talking about, I said the same thing. It used to be a time where, like you said, like the numbers was low. And I think Feats had just started getting on YouTube, matter of fact. The numbers was low. And then
hit on Travis Scott 4s when I first started my channel.
And everybody was complaining, right? And they was like, man, I wish they put out more. And then Jordan Brand was like, all right. And then they started putting out more numbers. And then they started sitting. And then folks was complaining because, oh man, they sit, man, everything ain't selling. They was like, it don't matter what y'all say, y'all gonna be complaining. They put out a whole bunch of them, y'all complain about that. They don't put out a much, y'all complain about that.
I don't know who complain about anything sitting. I'd rather sit than sell out, because when it's sit, I got a chance to go get it.
But that's the thing though. That's the thing though. If it's sitting, then people complaining because they can't resell it.
Well, that's the thing. The passionate people aren't complaining. Resellers are complaining. Right. And to hell with them. Y'all trying to make money off of the retail.
I wouldn't say, because see, the thing is with us with the Jordan Brand, we appreciate everybody. I mean, we appreciate, back then, you know, there wasn't really resellers like it is now.
Yeah.
But I appreciate, you know, resellers, because, you know, it's learning how to be an entrepreneur. It's learning how to learn the market. But, you know, as long as they do it in integrity and do it with respect, it's all good. You know, it's nothing wrong with making money for yourself, but just do it in the respects of, you know, people that appreciate, you know, getting shoes and then work with you know, the people that really want to buy them and wear them, you know. And I think that's really the problem that I'm seeing with a lot of people. It's like we tired of all the resellers, but you know, they're actually the ones that's buying and helping out these stores. That's not.
I don't think it's the JD. I don't think it's
if
the
they didn't buy,
resellers.
I would be able to go into the store and buy myself if they did not buy.
Yeah, it's
No.
Well, it's the reason why I'm saying
this. Take away from the passionate people that want the sneakers, the money. Resellers are in it for money, not because they're trying to help passionate people.
No. The reason why I'm saying the reason
alone and got your size only, those passionate people could get some of the 50 pairs you use bots for, some of the 40 pairs you use bots for, and they're using these bots on these apps as well too. So it's not to say that they're only eating off of sneakers; they're eating off of Foot Locker, Champs, Finish Line, all the stores that regular people go to. So granted, yeah, consumer resellers can buy all of your bulk for retail. Yeah, Nike, Foot Locker, whoever still gets the money, but your consumers, your core passionate consumers, are still upset because we have to pay resale.
Yeah. So what I basically see, the thing is, I get feedback from everybody. I get feedback from regular people that's been with Jordan Brand since day one. I get feedback from people that just started collecting and want to know a little bit more about the history of Jordan Brand. And then I get people, I get resellers that are, you know, inquisitive about what's coming out for Jordan, so that way they can be heads on what they need to get. And then I have, you know, the down to earth, passionate people that no matter what, when they want a Jordan, they just can't get it. So like I said, it all ties in. It's not always the resellers, because most of the stores, like I said, it's up to the sales manager to make sure the certain stores that they are responsible for get the shoes. And then it's up to the manager to keep that integrity for his store, his or her store, and don't put nothing under the table, no backdoor anything, and give it to the people that actually comes in on a weekly basis, on a weekend basis, and buys every other day, you know, versus somebody that's just coming for maybe 2 or 3 times just to pick up a large quantity of shoes. And I've seen it. I've seen it in mom and pop stores. I've seen it in a lot of different locations. But like I said, it's not always on the reseller. The reseller is in the business to make money.
Okay, but one quick question. Can we go back to the original question as far as the quantity Jordan Brand is putting out?
Yeah, so what the reason, so back, I would say, let's say 2015, 16, maybe 2014, 15, 16, the market was flooded with sizes. So what the brand really wanted to do is limit that from sitting with certain lifestyle shoes, because that's another thing. A lot of people are not feeling the new lifestyle stuff. Everything is usually based on retros. Yeah. And even with the younger generation, their knowledge is about what they seeing and hearing on social media, which is retro. They don't really understand that Jordan Brand can't be one-dimensional. They have to have a large quantity of different lined shoes, so that way people can say, okay, now, you know, Jordan Brand has a running shoe. I may not want an Air Max. Let me get something a little bit more lighter. That's my style. You know? But then those wind up sitting because people don't know the history behind those shoes. You know, so they did looking at retro. They're not really looking at anything. They're just looking at the hype behind, you know, on what actually everybody else is talking about. So what Jordan Brand wants to do is not be one-dimensional and try to cut back on a lot of shoes that's just been sitting and see where the need and wants are in certain in each store, because each store is different. Not every store is the same, depending on which borough you live in and which state you live in. Some people might like Jumpmans, and then some people may not like the Jumpman. They might just like the new lifestyle stuff that's coming out. So it just depends on what Gentry Humphreys wanted to do is make sure that the market is not being flooded and everything is just sitting, and then everything is just changing overall, not just for Jordan Brand, but for Nike as well, because now they're cutting back a lot from a lot of stores because of the pandemic, for one, and then because of the success that has been having online. So a lot of things is going to be online, and that's what the new CEO pretty much wants anyway. He pretty much wants a lot of the things that I've been reading online. Everything is going to be probably be pushed online to a certain degree. So I will have to see how everything plays out, because like I said, every store is different.
Yeah.
Every store is different. But once this pandemic happened, it was a lot of success online. So depending on see what happens. We see what happens, how the distribution as far as which stores get what, how much quantity goes here. Like I said, it's it depends on the store, the size of the store, the location, or what, how things have been selling in the past versus, now. So, and that's why I said, that's where, the ambassadors come in. If you do the job the way it's supposed to be, everything else can flow. But if you don't do suggestive selling and somebody comes in and say, do you got the retro 4s? And you say no, and then don't suggest anything else, then that everything is just going to sit. And like I said, it's like a domino effect. Everything is just all the way down. So that's why also Nike created the factory outlets, where now you can just either go there and get stuff 40, 50, 60% off. And and everything else is just going to start getting phased out.
Yeah.
But that's just the way the market is going right now. It's just, if like I said, and that's why people have to just try to, take a positive outlook, even if you work in that Foot Locker or Finish Line or whatever. Don't just look at what's going on to the point where you want to give up, but just, as long as you're there, just try to make the best of, the situation.
Yeah. I got a question. Do you think, like, as far as like Jordan Brand and women, we're going to see more things as far as like, because you guys have a lot of events and stuff like that scattered kind of throughout the year or across the nation in a sense, more, Chicago, New York, more of those high-end places, LA, stuff like that. But do you see yourselves catering more to like women exclusive on a big scale type of events? I
don't know what the heck is going on as far as events. Like I said, my main purpose is consumers and consumers only. That's all I worry about.
Who knows when we're gonna have another event?
Yeah, I don't really know what's pretty much going on in Atlanta, but I can try to find out. But my main focus is basically, making sure the consumers get what their needs and wants are. Their experiences is the best one when they're buying Jordan products, and that's it. And whatever they need from me, and whatever they think that should be better, what Jordan Brand should be doing versus what they are doing, that's all I focus on, and basically try to make the process a little bit more better, and the experience more better when they actually are trying to get a high-end shoe.
Yeah. Like you might know, but one thing we did bring up when we had our Jordan Brand kind of sit down.
Well, I hope I answer your question, Bronx Raised.
Oh, definitely did. Definitely. Yeah. Appreciate you answering it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so up in the air right now. I just try to, get the best information possible for each stores, because this past release, a lot of stores downtown Brooklyn, they only got like 12 to 14 pairs of the Jordan 1 satins. So when the first satins came out, they got like 20 something pair. So like I said, it depends on like I said, the sales managers in certain stores, and then the demographics of where stuff should be at, versus the high-end stores like Kith and all these other stores that probably get a little bit more, mainly because of location. But
not to be but like, how can consumers kind of report when stores are doing shady business, like backdooring, and they're giving to certain people before others? They're giving away reservations from the app that are supposed to be for people, and they're giving them
hotline.
How do we go about reporting that and seeing some effective change?
Well, the only way
report to the national general line.
The only way is through me. That's the only way. You can go on Nike as far as comments and concerns in their suggestions box, but they don't deal with Jordan Brand. Anything dealing with
no matter the state.
What's that?
No matter the state.
No matter the state. I have people from England contacting me on certain things. So it like I said, everything is ran from the people in Oregon. So anything that is going on,
I feel like a lot of stuff is not only just resellers.
That's my girl right there.
But a lot of it is stores that are connected to the resellers that are helping them.
Yeah,
and
but like I said, it's
stores accountable, then they're gonna just keep feeding the resellers.
But it's all, like I said, it's all accountability and it's all the integrity. It's about the manager, just being professional, and putting the consumer first rather than trying to put $20-$30 on his pocket. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we can't stop people from doing that. It's a human reaction of a person being greedy, whatever have you. We can't be responsible for that. Everybody's in a managerial position should be responsible for their own actions, and there's a lot of managers back in the days that got fired because of that. So the only thing I can say is that we have to understand that Jordan Brand don't really have nobody out there that's actually doing that but me. You understand? So everybody
I'll be the Jordan Brand snitch. I don't care.
Yeah. But it's not really so much as being a snitch, but it's just basically just trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt to try to have the best opportunity to get the shoe that they want to wear versus a shoe that they just want to resell. Because a lot of people don't want to wear it. They just want to resell it because of the hype behind it. But then you have people, 80 to 90% of the people that really want to wear the shoe but can't get it. And then they have to buy it for 3 times the retail price. So that's the people that actually contact me and say they're getting fed up with that. Something has to be done. So, we're working on, that's why I, try to get as much feedback as possible to relay it back to the brand. So that way they can make some needed changes.
I got another question. How can I go about finding like the Jordan Brand meetings that's here in my area in Charlotte?
Okay, so I don't know if you aware of Eakins. So Eakins are usually people that may have some type of connections to that. But I will let the VP of footwear know for Jordan Brand that you guys may need somebody from Jordan Brand to let you guys know about some product knowledge and stuff like that. Because I'm not on. Last time I was supposed to be there, I wasn't. That was during the All-Star weekend, but hopefully I can get down there and go to your store and meet you or something like that, and just do a couple of giveaways and stuff like that. Because I like doing that. I like doing things that customers are not, they're not actually looking forward to. I like surprising customers so that way they can, do that.
And see, with the with All-Star Weekend, man, it was such a blast. Like,
I heard, man.
Meeting Nike reps. They let us play ball in the Nike BB Adapts. I was out there in some LeBrons that hadn't released yet.
It's nice. Those meetings be real fun. Like
the entire event, it was crazy. And then
hopefully everything goes next year. It will be in Indiana, Indianapolis. So I definitely should be there. And we got a lot of heat coming in that month. So hopefully, we can finish out the year strong. And that's why I'm trying to do the best I can on the grassroots level as far as for customers, and just showing appreciation, man, and showing that Jordan brand appreciates everybody, no matter what city they're in, as long as, we know it's hard, on a lot of people. But, it's real, upsetting sometimes when people can't get a shoe that they've been waiting for months. And then just to find out that they can't get it because either the store didn't get it or just miscommunication, misinformation, and I think that's where the workers have to put their 2 cents in and say, you know what, look, we have to work together and say, we demand to get this shoe at our store, and then they say, well, why you think Nike reps or Jordan reps, so why you think that shoe will be beneficial to your store? And then you say, well, this is X, Y, and Z. And that's why you create books like this. So that way you can show proof that, look, this is what is needed. This is why it's needed. And, 10 to 3 to 4 months from now, this is the reason why we need those shoes in this location.
We have a lot of like Panthers players, like Bruce Irvin.
I know a lot of them.
He shops with me all the time. Like Bruce Irvin is my boy. Since he came to Charlotte, like he been my boy. Kemba Walker's been through millions of times.
Yeah, that's a good brother right there.
He real cool, down to earth, man. Like I love Kemba, man. Kemba but real good people.
But that's what you got to do, man. You just got to put your voice out there and say, look, I need this in my store, and try to be cordial, go manager, so that way, and try to see if you can get the manifest in a week in advance, so that way you can let your consumers know.
Look at that manifest.
Oh yeah, I've been on the manifest. At the end of every month, I let them know. Make sure you put out that manifest for me. I need to see what we.
I was like daily when it come on the report. That manifest gets printed like daily.
Man, I'm looking like, okay, I need to get this.
Too, like check into like some of your local stores, because you might have a Jordan Brand rep that does actually come out there and does stuff, but he does it with like local stores, because the one out here for like North America, he does some stuff with Soul Play. So anytime Soul Play has anything, they let me know, like, hey, the Jordan Brand rep is going to be in town. We're doing this. We're doing that.
But see, that's why you can't be limited to just the Soul
Play stores. Yeah, like
you
the local
go to everybody.
Where those meetings
so that way you can know exactly.
Yeah, because I've always done it through Soul Play. It's never been through Foot Locker or a big retailer. It's always been through Soul Play. And even now they have a Zoom meeting that's RSVP to the public, but they're gonna have Tony D up there. So they always do like stuff like that with like reps and Jordan Brand and stuff like that. Right. Whenever they have anything, I get invited because I've always worked with them since I've kind of started my channel.
Yeah, but that's not cool though. Like JD is saying though, it shouldn't just be where he's just going to Soul Play. He should be hitting up.
No, I'm saying he might have somewhere where that person is going to one of his local shops. It's just not Foot Locker.
Well, see,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
A local store that's getting those meetings and where those things are happening. But if those meetings are taking places at Foot Lockers and Nike.
Not every store is going to get those.
It's taking place at boutiques.
Right.
So, and normally like those high end shoes like the Travis Scotts and the Dior's, only boutiques would get those shoes. Okay. Because of the high demand on how they're functioning in their store.
Right.
So that, but the reason why I do what I do too is to give love to the local stores. Right, so that, because a lot of people are not expecting Jordan to come to those stores. So that's why I'm usually always in those stores and I pop in just to see what the needs and wants is, versus another store, because every store is different.
Matter of fact, JD, check your DM because I just hit you on that as a question real quick.
Okay.
And then Goat. Well, first of all, Goat, I appreciate you coming through.
Oh no, man, I appreciate you, man.
And then Feats, you already know what it is. We're gonna take a couple questions, before we close it out because we are already way past the 2-hour mark. And then JB had to, JB obviously he had to hit it because he had to get ready for, his regular in the morning. And then same thing with BX. So appreciate them coming through tonight. And then did you check that out, JD?
Yes. So I'm going to pretty much I actually still have tons of stuff to mail out because a lot of people want stuff. I actually do giveaways on IG. But usually when I'm on Black Ass Africans Retro Talk Show or my brother on here, I usually try to do a giveaway. So one of my giveaways is going to be my Sunday book review, which actually is the vice president of Jordan Brand, Howard White.
Isn't he a commentator or something like that?
No, that's
you saw him on Last Dance. You saw him on Last Dance. That's how you.
No, like he not like Shaq, like recent stuff, but you might catch him on like doing interviews or something like that. No.
Nah, I mean he only does interviews when he's like at Jordan events and stuff like that.
Okay. I think he reminds me
like
he looks like a comedian that you're thinking about, but that ain't
like him. Anyways, too. I don't want to use that whole, all
this
that.
This is the guy that that actually, if it wasn't for this guy, probably Jordan wouldn't be at Nike at the brand right now. Yep. So when you get this book, I'm actually, what's that?
Not his mama, according to the Last Dance.
Well, yeah, mom's always, but he was that pivotal person who was with Jordan till this day. So if you look at from when the Jordan brand started, from '98, when he was already with the brand, versus now, he's still with Jordan. So just think about how long this brother's been here and how much the influence, not just for Jordan, but for Charles Barkley, for many different other athletes, just teaching them to persevere over any trials and tribulations, any young adults that's going through trials and tribulations of today. This book I actually gave out to this past Sunday, and I'm going to actually give you two a copy. And your copy's coming, brother. Yeah. I already got some stuff coming for you. So.
To me and Goat.
Yeah. This
and yeah, y'all too.
I'm asking questions.
And I'm gonna actually have 4 books, and I will be giving away the next 2 for all the people that's online, still online. That's online now. I'm going to give a little quiz. If they can answer that and they inbox me and my IG, the first 2 people will get a book. So the first question.
First of all, well, hold on, JD. First of all, make sure that you guys are following JD on Instagram, which I put his Instagram handle in the comment section. So make sure that you guys are following JD so you guys can properly DM this brother to get.
And like I said, anybody that have any questions or concerns through previous purchases, any issues, I don't care which state you're in, because all of you are important. Doesn't necessarily mean New York is the most important state, but everybody that represents the Jordan brand to the fullest on any state and any country is very important to the Jordan brand. So any questions and concerns you may have, just follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of people to get to, and I read everything, so I don't skim through nothing. The people that know me know I read, and I answer you back, and everything that you tell me will go directly to the vice president of footwear. So just make sure that don't leave nothing out. Don't feel like you are alone wherever you at. It's very important that you the consumer have okay and the okay to try to get the shoes that you want wherever you are. I don't know what state people are at, but it's kind of hard sometimes when people want a certain shoe and can't get it because the communication is broken, or it's less hype in certain states versus other states. So, but everybody's important, in every state, in every, continent, in every country. And Jordan Brand appreciates you all. But the first question I have is, what 3 jerseys did Michael Jordan wear in his career?
The numbers?
Yes. Not you guys. This is just for the people that's listening.
I was about to say that.
And FYI, while you guys are putting in your answers, what does he do? By the way, Brooklyn might be a great place, but Queens gets the money.
Hey, JD, I just text my manager. He just texted me back and said we are a $9 million store.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's kind of small for Charlotte, though. Like,
I mean, well, it depends, because you got to understand, if you guys are battling any other stores around the area, and if you're not that go-to store, I think that's on an average day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's phenomenal, because you got a lot of stores in Charlotte. You got a lot of boutiques. And you got my man in Charlotte. I ain't gonna say his name. So that's the first question. The second question is, what is my favorite Jordan shoe? And they will have to go online to get that. I'll make it a little hard for you.
I don't know, but you look like you may have like one of those unpopular opinion silhouettes, and not the typical one or whatever.
I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm gonna give everybody a hint. I mentioned when I was going through my story, working at Foot Locker, I mentioned the shoe and I mentioned the person that designed the shoe.
And where do you want people to provide the answers? In this chat or to your
DM? To the DM, to my DM.
To his DM, guys.
Yeah, DM.
I'm checking now. So the first person that actually, I only have 2 books. So the first person that does it first, they will be the first person.
Send yours to the DM. Kev wrote it here in the chat, but people
JD, is it the team or is it the number?
The number of the shoe.
The number of the no, I'm talking about for the first question. You said 3 jerseys. Is it the jersey number or or is it the team that he played for?
No, the jersey number.
Jersey number. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to go real technical, it's actually 4.
Yeah, I don't think you talk. I don't think you was including Olympic though, right?
Yes.
You wasn't including Olympic. Okay, well then never mind. So 4, not 3, 4.
Yeah, it's 4.
Okay.
All right. So you guys I'm gonna give you guys a copy of this. You're gonna enjoy this book, and I want you two to friend me on IG. And actually, he's actually on IG, Howard White. So give him a holler. He's a good person. He's very down to earth, and he would appreciate you giving some feedback on his book.
I figured out who I was referencing him to. It was Al Roker.
I know you was.
I was like, it looks like Al Roker.
When I see Al again, I'm gonna tell him too. They do resemble. They do resemble a little bit, because it threw people off too when I said that. You wasn't the first person that said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just sent you a request.
Okay.
I just sent you one too.
And then the second question one more time was JD?
The second question was, what was the shoe I was referencing to during the show when I was talking about my time at Foot Locker? What was this? This is actually my favorite shoe. I got 5. I got pretty much all of them, but my favorite 5. This is like one of the top 5. I almost went nuts when I first saw this shoe. And I actually sent damn near almost 20 emails to this person just to get it. So, and I actually referenced that shoe too during the show. So the first person that
I like you even more, JD. 5 is one of my favorite silhouettes too.
And that means you had to have been watching the whole show.
Listen, no, y'all be hating on y'all say it make y'all feet look big and doofy and yada yada yada. But if anybody been watching me for quite some time, and I made the rookie mistake in getting these in a size 2.5 versus a size 4, so I do not have my Nike Air on the back. I just got my symbol because I did not get grade school. I got preschool. So this is actually a 2.5 that I have.
Matter of fact, go. What's the latest thing you picked up? I know you did a video on it. I just want to see it.
Oh, the J. Cole's. Hold on.
Oh, them
I picked up 2 things. Yeah, I picked up 2 things that same day. Hold on.
But you know,
I
had to bring out my favorite 5s.
And I ain't do no video. I literally just got these. I ain't do no video or nothing like that.
Everybody who got fair gods that did not tell me them shits is trash, I hate you.
Hey, shout out to the homies, man.
So we got one winner.
Yep.
Who?
We got Child of Mary. She won.
Child of Mary.
Who the hell is that?
I think that's somebody on
She's on Instagram.
I don't know if that's somebody watching on YouTube. It might be from Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, she's on Instagram. Her name is Child of Mary, Mrs. MD. Robinson. She's the first.
No, she's watching.
Mrs. and Mrs. Robinson. That's the women's sneakerhead page.
Yeah.
She watching.
Yes. So she's one of the winners, and I'm waiting for one more.
I need some new books to read, so I'm excited.
So these were my last pickups.
I told Hot Dog 18 he don't need to be on this. I got him.
He don't count. Him and Black don't count.
I got them already, man. They book is coming.
Hey, how the reason why I got these flight hawks.
Oh man, I ain't put those on in years.
Man, I had to get these, man. I saw them sitting over there. I'm like, bro, I need them.
So I've been looking for a pair of sneakers, right? And on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you guys to tell me how hard it's going to be obtained, unless it retros. Which, you might be able to let me know if we're gonna see you one day, because y'all really don't do nothing after 14. I'm gonna need y'all to do better. But these Ginger 16s, I need another release. Ginger 16s are my grail.
Yes, that's it's in the works.
Oh, don't tell me that. Hey, the gingers and the cherry woods. I always said,
yes, the cherry woods and the gingers. That's all I need to know. Is y'all gonna start going past the number 14?
So I got the second winner, brother Joel Christ, Barra Patterson. Jeezy Christ won.
Jeezy.
Oh, Jeezy.
Yeah, Jeezy.
Jeezy won.
So those are my two winners. And
Jeezy.
Congratulations. A lot of great stuff I got in store for you guys on IG. And also when I go to the certain stores, I try to do the first 23 customers, get a free gift. And sometime I even actually buy the 23rd customer a free pair of shoes. So be on the lookout. I'm coming soon to a store near you.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So congratulations. And, thank you for having me on. It was a blessing meeting you guys. You guys are amazing. And, just keep up the good work, man. And, just stay positive in tough situations. Retail is a very tough job, and selling shoes are a very tough job. But one of the things is keeping that passion and that drive to, inspire each other. And whether you're a manager of in leadership or just a regular part-time associate, always think above and beyond, your titles, because titles don't mean anything. Everybody is a leader in some way. And this book right here is going to show you how White shows you that, everybody somewhere is to inspire somebody in this world. So, you can always, no matter your title, where you work, or, your education background or whatever, we all inspire each other somehow in some way. So, if the best thing is just keep the integrity, look out for one another in the sneaker community, man. I mean, it's, look out for the sisters, brothers, try to, everything ain't always about money all the time, man. That's actually, I'm glad he brought that up. Actually, they got a good book coming out, Reebok, the history of Reebok. And I might get a few copies of those. Cause brother, I know that works for corporate, and Reebok is going to give me a.
JD said, I ain't no hater.
And, you see, knowledge is important because a lot of people don't know the history of Nike. They don't know the history of Jordan Brand. They don't know the history of New Balance. And me personally, I like to know so that way I can create a conversation. And that's the important thing about, it's not about limitations. You can't limit yourself through knowledge. You have to educate yourself about everything that's going on, in the sneaker community, because insights and trends change every day. Today, the fours are dope. Tomorrow is something else, so you have to always be on point on what the needs and wants of consumers are, and you gotta be ahead of the game. You think Adidas don't study Nike and study Jordan? What goes on? Yeah, they study everything, man. They try. That's why when it comes to designers, and I talk to designers, try to talk to them on a regular basis. They think of design and the design process 5 to 10 years in advance. So sometimes you see the date in shoes is because they already had created. You remember the story behind when Jordan retired, and Tinker did the 10s. He was already working on the 11s. Because, but nobody didn't believe that Jordan Brand was even going to withstand, his retirement. And the reason why, and I love Tinker so much because he had vision behind passion. And his vision was that even though Jordan Brand retired, he still had vision that he will come back and the brand will be above and beyond. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the 11s became the most iconic shoe within the brand.
I'm about to Tinker told himself, he gonna be back. I'm gonna keep working. He gonna be back.
You know, because when you work with somebody, that's why I said this book, you're gonna love this book. Because when you work with somebody like Michael Jordan so long, you understand the person, you know. Another thing, a lot of people really didn't give credit, and that's why I'm glad people was able to see The Last Dance, because people saw the passion and the hurt that came with being Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Because and not everybody understands how important it is to be focused, to be a champion and be a leader. He was a team leader, and what happened is that's why you only have one Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I
Because
think for me, the stigma kind of before watching it was he was a little bit of an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you don't realize that to get to the level he's at, you have to focus, you have to beeline. It's not wanting, and your focus isn't my focus. So right now, your conversation is unbeneficial to my job right now.
I think and
it's not that I don't care, is that I'm worried about the championship. I'm worried about the title. I'm worried about winning. I'm worried about this. And this particular conversation isn't helping me get there.
Right.
So right now, I'm not okay to have it. See me when I'm done after the season or some shit.
And I think, you know, what people really had to understand with Michael Jordan is that he was very reserved. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, when I give, the only people that supposed to know if you give something to somebody is the giver, the receiver, and the creator. So you don't really have to go out all the time and tell people what you give people. You know, Jordan, when he was when he was playing in Chicago, and, you know, my brother can attest to it because he lives in Milwaukee. It's not that far. He was taking the inner city youth out of Pagrini Green and taking them to games. He was he was doing a lot that a lot of people don't know about, and rightfully so. You're not supposed to, you know, tell everybody what you do, you know, to support your people. You know, I think it was very unfortunate that people was, you know, saying Jordan didn't care about blacks, and, you know, and he built prisons, which was totally false. You know, it was just
Jordan.
This Last Dance had to come out for people to understand that he was a human being.
Yeah.
You know, you know, even we all, you know, make mistakes in life, and nobody's perfect, but, you know, you try the best. And what if he would have signed every autograph? He would have never made it to the game.
Yeah.
You know, but he tried his best to, you know, support.
People don't look at those
Boys and girls clubs, and, you know, the, you know,
sides of it.
People with disabilities. You know, my brother Gentry Humphreys, who's Michael Jordan's right-hand man, like, he's been with the brand as well since day one. You know, and he also told me stories about Jordan Brand, as much things that he does, you know, and people would not believe, you know. So it's not about, you know, how much you give, it's how sincerely you give it, and if it's and if it's sincere. You know, I can do what I do, but then I can say, well, I tell everybody I gave this, I let the people tell who I am. I don't really worry about, you know, because it's not about me. It's about you guys, and the brand supporting you guys to the best of our abilities, and trying to make your experience and the consumer's experience a good one. You know, so, you know, that's why I like that The Last Dance. I knew about The Last Dance for years, but I was, you know, I knew they was gonna wait for a while to bring it out. But I'm glad it did, because now the younger generation that was saying, you know, LeBron is better than Jordan and all this craziness, you know, now they understand that what it take, because it's not about a comparison, because it's two different eras.
Yeah.
You know, one, you know, a lot of players today are being paid on potential. They're not getting paid off of hard work. You know, if you look at what Pippen
from Brooklyn that just stopped getting paid like 15 something a
day.
Like,
so, you know, we got to understand that back then, you know, Pippen didn't get paid nowhere near to what power forwards are getting paid today.
Oh, heck no.
So, you know, we got to understand that it's two different eras. You know, I would never compare LeBron, Michael Jordan, or the late great Kobe Bryant.
Well, people still gotta realize too, JD, because remember we talked about that before.
Right.
Like, don't get it twisted. Jordan didn't get paid either,
and he didn't get paid either. When he retired for the first time, they just paid him off of great.
Scotty really ain't get paid if you want to take it back. But
yeah,
you know, we talk. You know, they showed how Scotty didn't get paid. Jordan wasn't getting paid. Like Jordan was, he was like number 15?
Yeah,
number 15 highest paid player, number 15 highest paid player in the NBA.
His real revenue came from the sneaker market.
Yeah,
you know, so you know, and endorsements, and that's why I tell a lot of the resellers to learn business, learn how to invest in the stock market, because it's very important to diversify what you're doing versus what you think you're getting, what you can be getting. You know, and that's why it's important that everybody understands that. Listen, man, these players, these great players back then, they was getting paid peanuts compared to now. You know, so that's the reason why, you know, a lot of times I look at him as one of, if not the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball, because if the Last Dance didn't show people that, then I don't know what else. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, you know, his tenacity, his drive. You know, even when they was doing the long shot and everybody was missing, and one of the things that MJ said was, "Why should I think about missing and I ain't even take the shot yet?" So some people are already in their mind saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna miss it. Let me try hard to make it." Jordan already knew he was gonna make it, and that's why he made it. So it's always confidence in what we do in life to make sure that we are 10 steps ahead of our competitors, you know. And sometimes we're not even competing with nobody but ourselves.
Exactly.
So we have to really understand what it is that you know, is very important in the sneaker community, and that's why what I do, I take very serious. You know, I don't when I go into stores, I don't shuck and jive. I go to managers and let them know what they're doing is wrong. You know, and try to do things the right way, because you set an example for everybody else. And that's why you have that entitlement. You have that manager's title. And that's why I'm not too favorable of entitlements, because people have to earn those titles and not just be given something. You know, and that's why it's very important to, try to, make sure that, we put all the consumers first, male or female, and try to make sure their experience is a great one. Because I like to get positive over the negative when it comes to shoe releases. Yeah. I hate when a shoe comes out and a woman and a sister say, you know what? I'm tired of Jordan Brand. I'm tired of what goes on. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. And there's no need for it, because sometimes some of these stores have shoes and they just are not being fair. They're not being fair.
They don't promote when when they restock.
Yeah.
When they restock. They don't tell the masses when they restock.
And that's what they're starting to lose the importance of what really matters. And what matters is
retail is retail. But wouldn't you rather have your consumers happy versus resellers just buying it just because y'all still make y'all retail at the end of the day? Right. Shouldn't it being in the consumer's hand still matter, regardless of you guys still making the same amount of money, whether it goes to the consumer or reseller? Like, we need to have some type of priority at some point. And, I feel like every other brand is waiting on every other brand to say, we're going to stop the bullshit when it comes to bots. And we're going to try to really get this stuff into the hands of our consumers.
Well, you know what? Jordan Brand and Nike is already on it, because
stuff outside of sneakers. I don't know if you know about the Teflon bags or whatever. I think I'm saying it right. But they recently had all their stock sell out, and all the stock ended up on StockX. And that company said they're no longer doing manual drops. They're going to go back, try to get rid of the bots and things like that, because that wasn't a thing they were worried about. They're not sneakers, it's purses. Right. So now resellers are starting to dabble into other fields outside of sneakers, and they're doing a better job responding to the bots than actual sneaker brands.
Wait, she's a LeBron fan?
Yes.
Huge LeBron fan.
What? Oh, I didn't know that.
Huge LeBron fan, lives in Chicago and talks hella crazy about Jordan.
Wow.
So I just feel like stuff.
That's my girl. She does a lot. She does a lot of good things in Chicago.
Yeah.
Brands outside of sneaker brands are more responsive and reactive to the bot issue and the reselling issue than actual sneakers.
Yeah, it's an overwhelming thing, especially for a sneaker app, because when sneaker app was created a couple of years ago, that wasn't even a problem. You know, I remember releases was smooth. You know, no issues or anything like that. You know, and you know, it's they working on it. I sent a couple of letters. I gotta talk to a couple of guys from the Nike sneaker app who deals with that, and I will be you know, letting him know all the feedback that I got, that people are, you know, concerned about, you know, these bots and these things are happening, because a lot of stuff, you know, the people will have shoes in their cart, then next minute you know it's not in there, and it's just crazy. Like I never heard that. I never seen it literally.
Those little purses that are like this big, that you know, the new in style little mini purses that can only hold like a blunt. That's what they're now eating up. But I think, to kind of play devil's advocate, it's easier for those like bag sites and stuff like that, because they're now dealing with it, and it's early into their system kind of being infiltrated. Whereas sneakers and, like, you know, Nike, Foot Locker, like, you guys got infiltrated and have to kind of work backwards. Whereas they're dealing with it as soon as it kind of like happens.
And they're working on it, because we as you know, Nike's a way bigger market than they are. So it's you know, it's something that it's not going to be overnight, but they will be working on it, and they hear, and it's a lot of people that had, you know, and Nike's website, they have comments and concerns that you could drop in, and so a lot of people have been doing that on the Nike side of things. But I know for as far as Jordan Brand, any issues and concerns, I definitely have been getting a lot, and forwarding it back to the footwear vice president, so that way he can figure out.
And I'm snitching. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start snitching. I'm
figuring out a way to make, you know, the experience better. You know, on a because, like I said, it's little, but I can, you know, get all the information, and I can go to certain stores. But at the end of the day, it has to be the manager to put their foot down. It has to be the district managers of those stores. And then also the sales managers for Nike and Jordan Brand have to, you know, say, look, this is what we want. We're not going to tolerate, you know, backdooring, because that's illegal, for one, and not in trying to, you know, do, you know, overcharge, you know, customers for retail price stuff. They used to do that a lot in Queens, a lot of stores that I went to.
Stop on the Collie block, right?
Some of them not even in business anymore, and then that goes to a lot of stores in Brooklyn as well, because they wasn't being fair and honest to the consumers. So, you know,
Avenue.
That note,
it'd be your own people.
Jamaica Avenue used to be the two spots you could walk down 3 weeks after a release and still get any size you need.
A lot of those shoes in Queens, believe it or not, were fake.
A lot of on Collie Block, right?
Yeah, a lot of those shoes were B grades.
That's why I only mess with the Foot Locker on the Collie Block. I ain't never trusted their asses on the Collie Block.
A lot of those shoes were B grades and C grades.
Yes, I had a feeling because they used to have it early before early was a thing.
JD said C grade. All right, dang.
And
it's funny too, because you know what? Not to cut you, but the C grades have gotten to a point where they're getting better, because what happened was when Nike designers, when they go to Asia and different parts in China, and they go into the factories, close down the factories, and then somebody just come behind them and try to reduplicate the shoe, it's very hard to stop that. You know, it was hard back then. Now it's even harder now.
Yeah.
You know, so now, you know, Nike's just found a way how to do the barcodes a little different, and also track certain shoes from, you know, people's warehouse, and doing scams and doing a whole bunch of craziness. So he wants to elaborate on the C grade. So the C grade, I don't
really know if yours was an A or C grade.
Yeah, I would have to. I can only explain it to a certain degree, but C grades are usually shoes that are in the bottomless pit. Just to put on it, like the paint is all off. For instance, the 12s, the 23 is not centered the right way. Sometimes it may be off-centered. One may be higher up than the other.
Okay.
Letters may be missing.
Noticeable key details.
Yeah, and then those little intricate things you won't see, because you know they're not selling it to the sneakerheads that really know sneakers. They're selling it to people that just want to get a cheap shoe.
Right.
And what it does is it devalues the shoe, the real thing, and then people don't want to buy the real thing because they can get the fake one. And it just you know the breakdown, the quality is totally not the same. It's pleather, not leather. And it's just everything about. I have a lot in storage, but I have a lot of C grade and B grades that I got from stores that I actually bought and reported to, but they're not in business no more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, JD, man, I want to. We almost about to hit the 3-hour mark.
Oh yeah, this was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's loud.
Nah, I appreciate you coming through tonight, JD. Man, we did a giveaway. We done got some knowledge from JD, yes. and we had the Godfather on tonight. You know,
and not to cut you, but I will pray and please. I will try to get the vice president of footwear on one day, and I will try to get Howard White on one day.
Dope.
So that would be amazing.
Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah.
Question before we go.
And I will try to get woman designer by the name of Precious Hannah, who's actually designing a lot of shoes that people don't know about, but I'm gonna keep that on the low right now.
Okay.
But she is actually designing shoes for Jordan Brand.
Question. One last question. As far as like creators, as far as like YouTubers and stuff like that, and like stores and brands, how much of we like creators to be a part of our process? Is that more becoming a thing? Because at first, when I first interviewed for Foot Locker, I was told, don't mention your channel. They're not going to hire you once you mention your channel. You're done once you mention your channel. Right. They don't want no one like that. But on the interview, it kind of came up. So I told them about my channel. They liked the idea until I started working there. Then it became well, don't say anything about Foot Locker. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I'm like, I wasn't doing any of that anyway. And it's just more so to just drive more traffic to the store.
Right.
Why would that be a bad thing?
Well, sometimes, you know, a lot of times when people are doing the wrong things, they don't want certain things getting out when it comes to their stores. Not to say your store was doing anything wrong, but usually even Nike employees, usually they have a disclaimer. My thoughts and my are of my own.
Totally mine. I said I would put that in my videos.
But with Foot Locker, it's a different avenue. You know, a lot of times, a lot of things go on with these different vendors, and they don't really want a lot of people knowing what goes on in their store. Because you could be filming something one day and just like filming a customer with a shoe, and a manager could be doing something shady or doing something that he or she is not supposed to be doing, and then it gets out there where they are doing something that they wasn't supposed to be doing, and then not to say that is the case in every store, but just not to have people with a camera, just like the incident I was telling you with the YouTuber and the Foot Locker employee showing the alternate fives before they bringing it out before they're not supposed to do that. So that's the reason why, and because they know everybody wants to get likes and put stuff on social media and stuff like that, and it's a lot of requirements that you're supposed to uphold when you work for certain stores like Foot Locker. Even at Nike, you're not supposed to show certain things and stuff like that. So,
and that's just
I see a lot of people do it because I see a lot of samples that certain people are not supposed to have, but they have it. So I don't worry about those things. Only thing I try to let regular workers such as yourself freeze and go is to just keep the integrity of the brand. Don't worry about all the hype. Just learn the brands, learn the competitors, learn the footwear market, so that way you can broaden your expertise in whatever as you want to move forward in. So that's the only thing. Don't worry about posting nothing or doing nothing like that, because people are going to come to you because of who you are, not because just the shoe, whatever the shoe is. They're going to come to you because the way you represent yourself. So
and they used to give me a little flack sometimes. People would come in and like, hey, is Feats and Treats here? Like some people know me strictly off of my YouTube. They didn't know I work there, but they'll come in and be like, Feats? And I'll be like, yeah, that's me. What's going on? Who you? Watch your stuff. And like, it kind of didn't do well with some managers. Some managers didn't like that. But I think that all comes back to what they're doing, and they're worried about what they're doing coming to light versus what I'm doing.
And then you just gotta use discretion. You don't want people, because then people want favors, and then you're risking your job, for somebody saying, oh well, Feats and Treats said I can get a discount, and they know you didn't say that, but I've seen it. I've seen it already in stores. I've seen it, so it can happen. So
hey, we got one more question, JD, before we get up out of here. Roscoe Kicks, shout out to Roscoe Kicks. They said, are they ever going to retro the Cherry 10s? If you can, you could.
That's been a shoe that's been talked about.
Man, scratch those. Let's scratch those. Them ginger 16s. Cause should I expect like 21?
Yeah.
So keep it in the vault.
Trees did ask about the gingers.
Should I?
Also, speaking of the 16s, I don't know if everybody know, but that was designed by actually my mentor, Wilson Smith, who's actually a Black designer. And I'm gonna try to get him on here as well. He's actually on Wilson Smith, so you can on IG, so you can follow him. And he's wonderful man. He's been for Nikes for 30 plus years. He actually did the up tempo Air Pippin with the air on the side.
Okay,
that was a Black designer. He did the Agassiz. He helped out on those. He did a lot of other stuff, man. It's just sometimes we don't really know who's designing shoes because they're just humble. They're not really out there like that. I
don't know who be writing these songs.
But what I like about it, we had a lot of Black designers. We had D. Edwards, who did the Jordan. I believe it was the 2009s. Oh, I think that was Jason Maiden. That was one of them. But that's all. He also did a shoe too. So, and then I was referencing to Sister Precious Hannah, who actually did a lot of shoes. And I'm gonna see if she can actually come on here one day and chop it up and try to inspire some, because you have a lot of women designers that really don't know which avenue to go, because It's not a lot of women designers out there, and especially of women of color. So it's a lot of dope designers that I've seen. That's amazing, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I want to see some more women designers out there.
Last question, I promise. Not onto the Black women designers, I have to ask. So, do you see like Jordan Brand showcasing or at least highlighting some more of these Black, whether they're male or female?
Yes. I think
know who designs everything. So I feel like we mentioned they've created some of the stuff we've already seen.
Right.
I don't know of any older Jordan, pairs that have actually been done by women outside of collabs. I don't know if it's actually been designed.
There's been more on the Nike side of things, more so excluding collabs. There's been a lot of Black and Hispanic designers that have been designing Nike shoes, but I don't really know too much on who's designing that's African American or Latino that did Jordans, other than Precious. Everybody else is,
No, sure. As long as we got one, I love to talk to her.
But she's very, she has a beautiful story on how she got to where she's at. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal story if I can get her on, if she has time. And she's a amazing person, and I'll let her let you guys know if she'd be able to get on which shoes she's actually designing, because she did tell me, but she kind of got to keep it under wraps. But
if anybody releases the info, it will be her.
Yes.
And then we got one more, and then we getting up out of here because y'all playing around, especially.
I gotta be up 6 in the morning.
I gotta get up early too. I
was not expecting it to kind of really go this good. Not that it's not good any other time, right? But I was really not expecting to be so.
Taxi 12. I don't know if those gonna come out.
Spit out to you. But I'm trying to not like cut you off and talk over you. But I have so many questions I want to spit out to you.
Yeah, you can just put me on IG. We could talk afterwards.
Yeah, I do appreciate it, and because you from the hometown, yeah. Gotta throw the little urine there when we can. Yeah. But I do appreciate me being here, Rep, you having me being in your presence, because again, it's all about connections. Right. And tonight I made another connection that I didn't have before. And so, I think it's just always good when stuff like this happens kind of in the community, especially for me, because I feel like a lot of this stuff comes naturally or has a lot for you guys.
Right.
For me, everything started when I made my channel. So I didn't have any of this beforehand. Like everything.
Yeah, I owe all of this to you guys, because it was a lot of I'm more of a person that's face to face. Like I like to meet people face to face and chop it up with you guys. But I realized that a lot of people are on social media, and a lot of people was asking me, it's like, JD, why are you not on social media, man? We got so much to tell you, so much questions. And so I said, you know what, let me just create one just for the people. And I'm glad I did, so thanks to, everybody who inspired me to create a Instagram account. I did have a Twitter account, but I don't tweet that much. So I don't really have time to, sit there and tweet every minute. So I stick with the IG part.
All right. So then one more thing before we get out of here, JD. Shout out to Chappelle. We got are they ever going to retro playoff 12s and 13s? Do you know? And if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, I'm not gonna like I said, I talked to the right person, which is my right hand man, Gentry Humphreys, who's like I said, been with the brand. He knows everything that's coming out because he actually created the Zoom 92s. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he created that and that whole concept of putting all those shoes together and just representing for the OGs that are familiar with those three shoes. But those should be coming out. Like I said, just keep putting it out there. If you're on IG, just keep putting it out which shoe you would like to see come out, and then I can let them know the demand for it, because if it's really not a demand for it, it's not going to come out.
Cherry 12.
They're not yeah. Shoot, I want to pay attention. I still got the OG ones from way back.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I just needed a little bit clarification on the 16s. Was it more like 2022, 23, 21?
Like I said, I wish I can tell you. The only thing is I can just let them.
You know what's coming.
I can let you.
Feats, watch the man's Instagram.
Yeah. Those is my grails. I just need to know
he knows
back or not.
Once I get word, I put, you have a lot of pages out there that, they get a lot of information.
The first leak pics of them.
But I would definitely put out, once I put little hints out, once I find word that a shoe is coming out, I put little hints on my page to get people ready for it.
All you got to do is just send me the little winky face with like a mustard smile, and I'm going to know exactly what you're talking
when those first, believe it or not, Feats, when those first came out, they wasn't well received.
They weren't, and they're not well received.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, I did that release.
Those were men's only.
And I love the campaign. What's that?
Was that a men's only release originally?
No, they had the full.
Yeah. When I try to look for them now, nowhere has a size either new or used.
Yeah, it was just very hard to get people to understand. But a lot of people didn't like the shroud that came on it. I loved it because it was like the concept was a convertible, and I had product tested like a month in advance, so I had the black pair. And I just love the much
fire too.
I just love the much love concept. Yeah, I just love the much love concept, like the whole concept. If you remember the commercial, you can actually see it on YouTube. It was all the Jumpman players in one commercial, and then Jordan was playing with the people, with the brothers. So I love that whole concept was amazing. I mean, and then you have the low version of the 16s that a lot of people was asking for too.
Right. Now you're pushing it now, JD. we gonna stop at the lows right there. Good with the originals.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't like the lows?
No. We gonna stop right there. Pump your brakes. I'm only asking for regular. I don't care about them lows. I just need me some regular ginger 16s. And I do actually have someone who has the ginger and the cherry wood 16 for sale right now. But I do not want to buy them from her used, and I can't wear them, and them bitches start talking.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because
they gonna start talking as soon as I wear them.
That was all the way, and it will start cracking down on you.
And it's not DS, so she wore them.
Yeah.
I need a retro and I know this retro a lot of times. I'm so mad at myself. Some olive nines. Oh my God.
Oh, you missed out on those.
So many times. I'm such a fool. At this point, it's my fault.
It's far cry for those. I don't think those coming out no time soon, but
another release.
But I will say this. I think women deserve a pack. I think
that would be fire.
Now, when you say pack, you mean like a woman's pack release, like how a Lady May did the ones and then the 10?
Well, no, what I'm saying is the two shoes.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you know how she released the ones, the 10 at the same time?
Yeah,
that would have been more so a pack.
Yeah,
you say something like that.
Maybe like in a suitcase type.
A
bag.
Woman release from a woman.
What you think about that, Feet?
I'm totally down for that. Totally down for that.
Yeah, I actually
I like a Lady May and I like Rox Brown stuff.
Yeah, they're cool people, man. I think the brand we did try to get Beyonce, but they did work on that, but it fell through. That was way before she was with Adidas.
I'm not saying she went to Adidas. Oh.
Yeah, but they was working on that at first, and then
oh, you know what? I got a question, JD, and this for real. We about to get up out of here, Feet. You gonna have to.
All right, I'm done. I got a new question. I'm done for real.
Hey, no, I got one more question real quick, and then let's see if Goat got one before we leave out too.
Okay.
So okay, Drake was on JB for a couple of years, and then and then he he went free agency, and then now it seems like it's been like it's been in the talks, or it's been in the negotiation area or whatever like that. Is that something that you feel, you may not know for sure, but do you feel like that would be how can I put it, uh a get back together marriage again?
Yeah, so I don't really know too much about Reggie Saunders. He's actually the person who deals with all the entertainment side of things.
Okay.
So I don't deal with that. I would like to see it. I mean, it was very successful. But I think Travis Scott is doing phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
Not to say he was better. He's better, but I mean,
no, that's a fact. That's
what control they both individually had over their like sneakers.
Yeah.
It seems like Travis has more creativity.
Yeah, his creative control is a little bit more.
Because I feel like if y'all probably gave Drake what Travis has, we would see a lot better sneakers come out from under Drake. I don't really like any of the sneakers that came out.
It was just two different entertainers that had a different style.
It also seems like JD that with Travis, he has more of a Nike and Jordan brand situation compared to Drake had just a Jordan situation.
Jordan.
So Drake was just one dimensional with Jordan brand early on, and then Travis Scott, he actually came in doing stuff for both brands. Mm-hmm. But a couple of shoes, a lot of people don't know it never came out. So it was basically the relationship with Jordan brand worked. Yeah. And then it materialized and it went over to Nike. So it all made sense because, at the time, Jordan brand, it just, the Sixers was just nuts. Yeah. So, and then after that, then he did, the collaboration with Nike with a couple of stuff. So I mean, it's a win-win situation for both brands. It's just the simple fact it's about what consumers want at the end of the day, and what they're feeling. Because like I said early on, trends change every day.
Every day.
1 minute this shoe is hot, and then the next minute, people ain't feeling it. So it's just the supply and demand on what consumers want versus, what we think, what Jordan brand thinks or Nike thinks should come out. And that's why the consumer insight and feedback is important, because without that, then you're just guessing on, what people want.
Hey, Goat, did you have something before we close it out?
Nah, he answered all my questions, man. I'm definitely going.
Don't ask me.
You got a lot of heat back there, man. You Goat. How long you been collecting for?
I try to do a little something, man. But
how long you been collecting for?
I sold my first collection when I was in college around my sophomore year. So I've been starting back up ever since.
Okay.
So about 2009.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if I was to show you what I got.
I can only imagine.
I gave away most of my stuff, and some of the stuff I'll try to gave to my son and stuff. But I try sometime. I was wearing some of my old. I'm an OG, man. I like a lot of the lifestyle stuff that Jordan brand got, man. Like those Zoom 92s, man. I was rocking those like hard.
My son is getting into my size now, and he's starting to ask me, "Can he wear my stuff?" And I'm like, "Boy."
I don't have any kids or anything yet, so I've.
But do you have like a wall like us? I guess new.
No, because in my office I have from 1 to 14. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much where it ended for me. Not to say I like every Jordan shoe, but the reason why I say it because it's sentimental.
It's
It's a lot of sentiment.
By the way,
no, not ending. Not. I mean, as far as me like looking, because I love interest. I love everything and the design process. I keep style last and look at everything technical and then the design process on how shoes. So the shoes I like to look at on my wall, that's pretty much what's in my office. But everything else I have. But you know, from 1 to 14, it just means something. And even the 17s, because also Wilson Smith did those as well. Bruh. So 16s and 17s, when that case, that was like the first $200 shoe that hit the market. The first retail price that went above 125 was the Jordan 15s. Actually was the first shoe with woven on the side of it. You know, a lot of people don't know that was the first shoe that ever had woven on them. And I remember when I broke those out, people was like, "What the hell are those, Pradas?" And I was like, "Nah." Yeah, and that was one of the first ones that Jordan did, one seamless upper that was attached. And I remember I was in, actually my uncle passed away in 2002. That's when those was actually coming out the following year, 2003. And the designer Tate actually designed those, and he showed me those when I was down there, and I was like, wow, these are amazing. Came with, I don't know if you got the one with the suede brush and them.
Nah, I got the ones last game.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But this the original from 03.
I had those in red and white and gave them away to my cousins in Trinidad. I'm so pissed.
This is the oldest sneaker.
I have a red and white pair. I'm so pissed.
This is the oldest sneaker in my collection. I got these in middle school, and
still look good, man.
That was one of the sneaker battle questions. What's your oldest sneaker?
I am not gonna lie. I have work 6 in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
it is midnight here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I did enjoy tonight. I enjoyed.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man.
Let's go ahead and close it out. Well, Feats, I'll let you go first.
Ladies first, of course. And I'm the cutest. But now we stop. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. If you didn't know, now you know. But I am the newest brand ambassador for SNEAKERHEADS clothing line. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out my channel. And me and Jumpman Bostic are the only ones with that 15% off. But use mine because mine is newer. Bostic had a little time to run his code. So you can run mine up. But you can catch me on Feats and Treats like my name. It's the same on YouTube. There you can find Feats Madness, Fashion Police, and Sneaker Queens, which is about to kick off. It already kicked off, but I kind of had a hiatus with COVID. Y'all know how I do sometimes. But I am back full-time, ready, lock-loaded, ready to go. But other than that, it's your girl Feats, and just follow me, subscribe, all that good stuff, and use my code, which is Feats and Treats at sneakerheadsclothingline.com. Peace.
Go ahead, go.
All right, man, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Rep, I appreciate you for having me. Let me come on. JD, I appreciate all the information. Like, I'm really a sponge when it comes to sneakers. Like, I'm very passionate about sneakers. I love it, man. Anything I can get information on, like, I'm wide open. My antennas are up. Right. I appreciate you for being you, as usual. But,
you already know.
For everybody who don't know me, I am the friendly neighborhood sneaker man, Go Wheezy. Same name on YouTube, Instagram, all social media handles. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. We just passed the 2,000 subscriber mark, so I appreciate everybody for their support.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, then most definitely we got JD in the building. JD, one more time, let everybody know where they can find you at so they can.
Yeah. So anybody, I might be in your neck of the woods. I'm actually on the East Coast, Brooklyn, New York. Birthplace of the greatest player that ever played the game of basketball, Jordan, MJ, Bed-Stuy. So my Instagram is JD_CES for Jordan Brand. So the CES is Customer Experience Specialist. And any questions and concerns you may have is, nothing that is will be left out. I get questions all over people from all walks of life that are representation of the brand. So, any questions and concerns you may have, I'm going to read everything and relay it back to the brand, and they will do their best to make sure that your next experience is a better one.
Dope. And then y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy, Rep Milwaukee 414, CEO, owner of Sneakerheads Color Line. Appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man.
Congratulations too, man. I wanted to congratulate you. And, I commend every entrepreneur out there, Black-owned businesses. We have to support them. It's important. It's easier said than done.
That's
a lot of people always want a discount, but when I buy Black-owned, I don't want no discount. Don't even try to offer me no discount. I'm pay full price for everything. So just, keep up the good work. Keep inspiring people to, let's help each other out. Let's motivate, uplift each other, and, keep grinding and just be the best you. Don't worry about being nobody else.
I appreciate it. That's a fact. I very much appreciate that, JD. We going on 11 years as of last month.
Great.
So,
I gotta get some stuff by the way too, man.
Yeah.
I gotta go on your
on
website.
The website. Yeah, check out the website. Y'all know what it is, man. If y'all don't know, it's sneakerheadscolorline.com. Make sure you guys check us out. We just, like Feats talked about before, we started our new women's line. So most definitely, which Feats is the headliner. So make sure y'all check it out. And we got plenty of other things that's coming, what I'm saying, in the photos as well. But Rome wasn't wasn't conquered overnight, wasn't built overnight. So we got a kids line situation coming up. Everybody was asking about, where's the sample at? I wore this the other night. Everybody was asking about it, so stay tuned.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, this is just a sample right here, but we gotta.
You know what it's saying that next me to display.
We got a little situation that we just ain't signed it.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm through.
Yeah, just stay tuned for that.
Wait for my pack to come in.
Yeah, just stay tuned for that. So we got that in the works. But yeah, man, every Tuesday night, this is what we do. Every Tuesday night, we've been coming with bangers every Tuesday night all summer. So and it's all because of y'all, so every Tuesday night, 7:30 Central, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate everybody coming through. Goat, most definitely appreciate you coming through. I know you just wanted to come through for a question and you stayed the whole rest of the time.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, bro.
Feats, I appreciate you coming through tonight.
You're the best.
Yes. As you know, I appreciate you having me. And it's not that I don't sometimes want to be here, but literally my live runs right before this.
Yeah.
So I've been on live since 7:00 p.m. So it's now going on the 5th hour I've been on live tonight. But it was for definitely a great purpose. I think, JD, you were awesome. I appreciate you I appreciate you coming on tonight. I'd say having you.
I appreciate everything. And everybody just keep watch on my site. I have, a lot of giveaways. Going to the Jordan brand, JUMPMAN23.com, and see all the great stuff that's on there right now. I will also post stuff. A lot of new stuff coming. Shout out to Andrea Perez and the wonderful team that actually did the women's line that you spoke about, Feats. I hope the women appreciate it. It's going to be amazing. Got a lot of woman footwear coming 2021. So stuff I've seen is going to go nuts. I just hope the women can get them.
I hope there's not a lot of focus on the shoe jewelry, because that's not.
No, it's not. I mean, shout out to.
I feel like it went from pink being the woman thing to like shoe jewelry being the woman.
I think creativity is important too. And Melody Asani did an amazing job. That shoe was bomb. I never would have thought a shoe somebody can think of something
and a mid at that.
Yeah, so
anytime y'all doing the mid, if it's not a retro OG high colorway,
well, just be on the lookout. The retro twos, just be on the lookout.
Oh,
I like twos.
Just
people be sleep on twos. I like
think up the twos, and in a women's version.
I got some Just Dawns that I love. I got the pink ones.
Okay, it's gonna be even better.
Dope.
But I do want to say on top of what you were saying, guys, just please appreciate JD. As for someone who has been in other meetings with other reps and things like that, and have gotten to experience reps in other settings, regardless of it being a live or a sit down or a panel or whatever it is, this is probably the most be. I'm not gonna lie. So I think you guys need to appreciate the knowledge and the tips and the insights JD dropped tonight, because these are things that a lot of other brand reps don't do. They try to get our feedback without giving anything. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of brand reps try to, get our feedback without giving too much of what they've got coming or giving too much of what's out there. They try to keep what they've got under wraps, but keep us to in a sense where it's like, we got you.
Right.
But I feel like you giving an extra step, an extra insight, an extra detail, an extra sense of confidence that what we want, we're going to get. So I think people need to just appreciate that, because being someone who have seen both sides of the coin, where you can spend a whole meeting with a rep and feel as if nothing you've said has been heard, nothing is going to change. Where when you're with a rep who actually gives you insight, who gives you, hey, that sneaker you're dying for, you might see it in 2 years. That's what I got tonight. I've never gotten that from any other rep.
Right.
And I just want to appreciate you for that, because I feel like that's something I've never gotten before.
Thank you. And it's not that other people at the Jordan brand don't do that. It's just a simple fact that I'm pretty much, I like the grassroots level stuff where I'm on the street level. It's a different ball game versus you're going to events or you're going to focus groups. When you talk to people on the street, you get a different perspective on appreciation that people have in Jordan brand. And it's very important to get everybody's perspective, because not everybody has the same perspective. Not everybody have the same style. Everybody has, different trending styles and different feedbacks of what they would like to see, because they're the ones are the paying customers. So I think their voice should be heard more than anybody else. So it's very important to get not just one side, not just two sides, but a plethora of different people's perspectives on what they would like to see the Jordan brand, because you guys, are upholding the Jordan brand to where it is today. And I think it's very important to show that appreciation, greater or small, but the appreciation overall is very much needed to make sure, let everybody know that it's very important to everybody to get their voice heard. So that's it. But I don't want to hold anybody up, because got to eat some grub.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to get up out of here. Hey, Feast, don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing else, Feast.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm having a whole other question. It's okay. But one last thing I do want to say.
Nah, you ain't got nothing else. You out of here. Nah, you muted. Nah, we out of here.
Oh, just everybody, send me your email, your address, so I can send your book out. All the winners. So go and send me your address so that way I'll send your book out. And I'll probably, if I get something else, I'll throw
I'm
something.
coming to New York. I'm gonna pop up on you in New York.
Okay.
My mama live right 10 minutes from JFK Airport, right on Van Wyck.
Oh, okay.
I'm from New York, so I'm gonna pop up on you, Mr. JD. I just left New York.
Hey, well, once again, y'all. Hey, matter of fact, I just saw this. We gonna talk about this. We gonna talk about this later. But
okay.
But GOAT, I just saw the list for season 5. I'm just looking at it right now
before I came on.
Oh wow!
Clothes.
So they posted the list for season 5 or whatever. We ain't gonna talk about it tonight. We're gonna talk about
women
that.
on it. More women on it. I didn't notice that.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next week. And then stay tuned once again. Next week's show. We had Jumpman Bostic and we had JD on tonight. We got 2 more. Dope, amazing special guests on next week also as well. Like I said, we've been doing this all summer. I've been bringing nothing but heat all summer to y'all. And it ain't been all sneaker related, but everything that we come with been crazy. So I'm telling y'all better stop sleeping. Hit that subscribe button. Stop playing.
Right. Subscribe to my brother, man. It's a
subscribe, man. Subscribe.
And, it's no
hype. On my channel.
So beautiful. Support everybody. Support each other.
Oh yeah.
It's union time.
That's a fact.
So everybody, make sure y'all, if you ain't got no shot to toast or no blunt to smoke, just
water.
Water that works.
Yeah,
water works too. What they said that man did, he turned water into wine, or was it the other way around?
Oh, that man. You done.
I'm just saying, I'm not really religious. I'm probably going straight to hell. So I'm just saying, my family wasn't really big church going.
Peace, you done.
All right, everybody.
You done. You cut off. You cut off for the night, Peace.
I didn't get introduced to the church.
Hey. All right. We holler at y'all later.